all right, so who's like after Agent Chase? Like, what's the
Leader.
consensus? I'd say like it would be either be like Santa or Classic Space or Ninja Master, but that's I'm biased, so
I think any character or person with a Hotwire is an immediate S tier, even if their stats are garbage.
I mean,
I think, just put the criminal leader below. So
yeah,
Hotwire just breaks the game. It's just not fair.
Cluster Bomb as a spell is actually pretty decent, but you have to space it out when using it in game.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Space Criminal Leader is slow. Like he's
I think he has to be like one of the slowest in the game.
Yeah, he is. So like if you have like a cavalry, you can just easily surround him. And if he uses his cluster bomb, I mean, he doesn't have much other option. I mean, sure, Hotwire is broken, but I feel like he would be outclassed by Agent Chase in most situations because Agent Chase is faster. I mean, he's also ranged, which is also another advantage, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, Cluster Bomb is the lowest damage spell in the whole game, as far as I'm aware. And
well, it's better than Fireball.
It's better than Fireball, yeah, but that's not really saying much.
Yeah, just barely better.
Yeah.
Barely better, but still, it's still better than nothing, I'd say. I mean, it's better to have some options.
Yeah.
What are his secondary abilities again?
Crystal Cache.
Let me grab the little.
I have them all memorized.
Where's the auto speed? The compare sheet. There we go.
Because I think
it says speed, attack, crystal cache. Criminal leader has speed, defense, cluster bomb.
Yeah. Right.
Speed attack and speed defense. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That attack is so brutal.
Yeah.
And speed is just speed.
I think all three of them have their own uses, but yeah, speed and defense are kind of lower than attack, I believe.
But defense is still better than speed.
Defense is better than speed, but only slightly.
I'd actually just put speed a little bit better than defense. Again, maybe it's my focused play style, but usually I like to surround enemies, and I just find it easier with speed. So
you also remember defending though. Like if the enemy is attacking you, defense makes you basically immortal. And if your hero's next to the castle, and you're like healing your units, if they have defense, they'll never fall.
True. I think attack though is like the GOAT. Like if you just have run speed up and defense, like that's not as powerful as run speed up and attack,
Yeah.
There's also a glitch with the attack boost that another reason why Agent Chase is definitely better is because if you hotwire Agent Chase's units, the attack boost goes away, whereas Criminal Leader's the defense and speed boost don't go away. So Agent Chase can have fully boosted units.
Oh, true.
Oh, yeah, that is
scary. Do you know if that's stackable?
If it were, it would have broken the game.
What? Wait, what was stackable?
If you hotwire Agent Chase's units or the Criminal Leader's units that are defense buffed, and you defense buff it again, will that stack?
That I don't know. It's possible.
No, but if you have, say they have speed and shield, and then you add damage on top of that, I think that's what gives you a unique icon on it. But you can have all three on a single unit. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright, so let's move on past these two. Alien Commander, where should we put him?
A. I think he's
A tier. At least solid A tier. He's a solid A tier, but he to put him on the same tier as Agent Chase and Pliskin. I mean, that was the criminal commander's name. It's just not fair to the other two.
True, because his movement, his abilities are pretty good. He has EMP, right?
He has
ESP.
ESP, sorry.
S. Yeah,
I think
that move is really scary against unit spammers and against other heroes because he's like the best hero versus hero unit.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think he can beat every other hero except maybe King Kahuka.
Yeah, because he
And
also has like the highest attack and 1,000 HP.
Well,
Yeah.
The only thing is he's also
sound-
really slow though.
He is
That's his biggest
slow.
drawback. Which is why I think actually ranged heroes probably beat him most times because you can just like stay right out of his range.
Exactly.
But
Although
you
he has
need ESP
ESP.
stuns
He
him.
needs ESP
that
just
run.
to get closer to him though.
Yeah, but then it also wastes
Although-
most of his magic.
Yeah.
If I may say though, it's that the problem is that like I'd put him. I'd say Classic Space edges out a little bit, even though he only has like 4 stars. He is a bit faster, and even though it doesn't have as much health, I'd just say that Space Laser and ESP is a deadlier combination. Although in terms of utility, Alien Commander wins out because Crystal Cash is just
Because you can also use Crystal Cash offensively to lock units in.
true.
that's
Assuming
It's an infinite
build
wall.
Yeah.
Another thing, there's a couple of maps where you can run out trees really quickly, and there's not really good mine positions. So Alien Commander would be really good for longer games.
Mm-hmm. Like what's it called? Entrenched.
Yeah, Entrenched definitely. What's another map?
Plus Zone's one I think of.
Pretty
Yeah,
much any
Entrenched
water map.
and the one with has like 3 islands. Exile.
Yeah.
Exile.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My favorite map, by the way, I should say, I think a lot of people forget, is Outbreak. I mean, I know it's not like the most competitive, but
I
Yeah.
like that map too, but yeah, boats are not good on that level because your base is already so tucked into the corner that boats can't even reach you. They're only good for really defending the edge or the middle area where you can get the mine.
Hmm.
yeah, middle area. You can actually build a base in the middle area, like a small outpost, not only like a mine, but I wish something that Lego Battles had is that like different mine cracks had like different tiers of like gold that they gave out, like different tiers of studs. Like the one in the middle of Outbreak would be like a very high tier, and meanwhile, one that's like right next to the base wouldn't be as much. And
Yeah, that would definitely be really cool. Yeah.
Hmm.
All
Alright, next character.
Biff. Let's do Biff.
You want to do Biff? Alright, where do we put him?
I think he's basically the same thing as Classic Space, but just with EMP. He's just Classic Space, but EMP.
Yeah, I
He's
can agree with that.
better, but yeah.
Actually, he's faster and has more health, but I think he just does a little more. Yeah, no, he even does supposedly around the same damage too.
Yeah,
I mean, it's tied pretty much. It's just that if you want to go against like other heroes, you pick Classic Space. If you want to go against vehicles, you pick Biff.
I think vehicles just have more going against vehicles is just better in general because they can usually put out more damage than the hero can.
Yeah, being
That's
able to shut down alien assault ship is pretty.
That and
Yeah,
also it makes hot wiring not as useful because you can just shut down whatever they hot wire.
True. So yeah, Biff. I'd put I'd agree with that placement of Biff being just a tier above, like not a tier, but like being ahead of Classic Space just a little bit in the tier list.
And he
Yeah,
has the best natural stats.
yeah, his stats are very good.
Yeah, he has, I think, the best.
Very balanced in terms of like not one being overly bad and another one being overly good. Like I think Alien Commander has. Because like he can do a lot of damage if he can reach his opponent.
Which
Right,
he
I-
can.
Wait, I think Biff's the fastest too.
Yeah, he's a 3-speed.
Yeah, he's the fastest, or he's one of the fastest.
I think Alien Queen is the fastest, or just the same, like the Queen Alien. is
Yeah.
Alien
is
Queen does
I think she's a
feel
little
like
slower.
She's a little slower, but she has more damage output and a little less health.
yeah.
well,
When we rank her then?
Yeah,
I think Alien Queen is better than Commander, very slightly, but they're both pretty much the same.
Yeah, I
I
can
think
agree
they
with that.
like either or, because having low health is kind of a detriment to her. Because I'd rather have her have 1,000 speed and less damage instead. Because hero damage isn't really that great.
I
True.
think the
True.
Alien Queen gets to use the ESP better because she's faster, so she can maximize that time that they're stunned to actually do the damage.
That's a fair point.
True. It is. I'd say they're roughly equal. I mean, when it comes to like the female versus male heroes, I'd say the split between Alien Queen and Alien Commander is not as minimal, and truthfully makes sense. I mean, it's not like one is far better than the other. It's just probably because Alien Commander is just so slow, you know?
It's just different maps, different playstyles, whatever. They fill the
Yeah.
same role.
I think those are like the certain S tier heroes. I'd say like not S tier, A tier heroes. I mean, A tier and S tier, to me, what that means is that you can pick these and you can be the same skill as the opponent, but if you have these heroes and they don't, you're going to win.
Yeah. I think that applies to like characters, especially. Like, let's do Wizard now. Like, where would we put Wizard? I think it's pretty obvious, but
C tier.
C tier.
Yes.
C tier, what?
I think he's lower tier than that.
Yeah.
E or F.
I guess I'd say D because his lightning, if you can use it right, is really good. Like, you can put a lot of damage out. Yeah, that's true.
The
And
only thing good about him is he has high health. He's nothing else.
he has high health.
Max health is good.
Yeah, if you want to
think
He's
he-
got a pretty sick laugh too, so like he's like like
that laugh
I mean,
is
come on.
definitely an intimidation factor.
Yeah. I mean, his damage isn't that great. His speed is abysmal. What's his boost again? Isn't it? I think it's
Speed attack.
speed attack, which is the best. Which is one of the better combos.
Yeah.
He's usable, but I'd just say Troll King is overall
Yeah, Troll King
just
is
Wizard
just
but better.
objectively better. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, Troll King is much better.
So where would we put him? Troll King.
B because
B
he's
tier.
really good in Gold Rush.
Actually,
Yeah,
not even
For
just
other modes, he's
not
not that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, logging buff is definitely better than mining buff, to be honest, because again, I've said this multiple times, but mining buff is really situational because a lot of maps have the mines just out in the open. So having your hero go out there is kind of risking it.
True.
true. Again,
Costs
this
the money and time to actually build the mine.
yeah. Again, this problem would have been solved if they had like made it so that different mine cracks had like, differing amounts of money. That would have been brought more focus to map control, but that's more on the game balance side. But yeah, Troll King is a lot more solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also the strongest Earthquake type user, even though his roar is the same thing as Earthquake.
Yeah, I haven't found any meaningful difference, other than it doesn't shake the screen as much.
No, they're the exact same.
No.
Yeah, I think the screen shake is kind of annoying, especially in Ninjago. I feel like in Ninjago is just way worse when you use it's not called Earthquake in this game. I think it's called Roar.
What's
Yeah,
the spin
Roar
to Earthquake that
shakes
Cole
the
has?
screen in Ninjago, and in battles it doesn't. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Honestly, Ghost is also I'd put Ghost in like a C tier because I mean he has Fireball, but he also has Earthquake and
Yeah,
I
C
think
tier.
Ghost is B tier, but I'm pretty biased towards him.
What's his
Attack
two other magics?
Attack, defense, fireball, earthquake.
It's
I
B.
I think
Yeah.
attack defense honestly puts him in B. Because
Yeah,
that's a
And
really
max
deadly
speed,
combo.
too.
Yeah,
that
With
does.
earthquake is really good.
Yeah,
That
I think
does.
it's solid B tier.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Even B or
Earthquake,
C.
King.
A tier.
King, B.
Honestly,
B or A.
personally, I put him in A, but I think B is pretty fair.
I'd say
I
B or
think
A.
A tier as well because yeah, he has the better tree growth in my opinion. It's way easier to use and block off people with. And Earthquake is just a really good spell.
I
Maybe put
tested.
him above Troll King at least.
Yeah, he is better than Troll King. Although I tested out, I actually found out like the difference between like the tree growth. So the ones that are used in the kingdom setting are like the most long range. The ones in the pirates, sea setting is the mid range, and then the ones in like the in the space is the most short range.
Why is that?
I
Grow
don't know.
farther. Pirate
It's
one.
a bit flatter, so
Yeah, I mean the King's. Forest is easily the best one. Like I feel like I get the most value out of it. Like the other two, I feel like they barely worked like the right way.
yeah.
And with the long range magic spell, it like bugs out Crystal Cache and Forest Growth and just launches them across the map. So you have to like kind of make sure you don't have it right next to you or all the way across it from you. So it's kind of hard
Yeah.
to balance.
Yeah.
It's worth
I got a
noting that
question.
Forest Spawn gives you less trees, but it is the most easy to use, so it is better.
Yes. I mean,
Real-
truthfully, all of them are pretty similar in the end, but I mean, and they're all certainly strong spells that can be used both defensively and offensively and economically. So, yeah.
How about the Queen?
Where is
The
she?
Queen
Oh,
is
ARS.
A tier.
A tier.
I think she's slightly better because having that match speed with Earthquake, because Earthquake follows your hero as you move, so you can chase things down. Nothing can run away from it.
Yeah.
True, although Queen has less health, like 100 less, so
No, the same
it's
health,
the same health? Really?
just less damage.
Oh, okay.
So she's
Sorry,
like
my memory
just better.
is
Actually. Yeah.
And damage can easily be played around with just other units.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Speed
even a
is
1 damage hero isn't no different than a 5 damage hero.
Yeah, like
In terms of
if damage really mattered that much, Alien Commander would be an F tier. Or not Alien Commander, Space Criminal Leader.
yes. I mean, damage can only take you so far, and again, that's the thing with hero units is that what at least again what I look for them, I look for what I can't find in other units. That's why spells like Crystal Cache or Forest Spawn and all those spells. I mean, damage spells, they can be midgetated or magitated. Sorry.
Mitigated.
Yeah, mitigated by with better unit composition, but things like again, Forest Spawn, it's invaluable because it's not something you can get from other units.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
All right.
anybody with Forest Spawn is at least B tier or higher. Like anybody with a tree growth spell.
I think only on a few multiplayer maps it doesn't matter as much because either A, you're so close that like you're instantly fighting the second it starts, so you don't really have time to mine resources, or B, it's just like there's so much of it that it doesn't matter and you won't ever use it. But like certain maps, I 100% agree, you could use it like right away.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so moving on. Sorceress.
She's
like-
Better than Wizard, but
yeah, she is better than Wizard.
By how much?
I'll make you squishy.
Just
either right in front or like D tier. Honestly,
Well, she's also
Yeah.
hotter, so
True.
because Sorceress is like decent with the lightning because it's it's not the worst spell, but she's just outclassed by Ghost and Ninja Master in terms of spells.
Yeah, radius.
I mean, her positioning is better because she's faster. It's just, she's outclassed by Ghost and Ninja Master.
Yeah.
Well, if she only has 900 health or 1,000.
No, it's 900. 900.
900. Ooh.
But again, transport.
Yeah, transport.
Oh yeah.
I feel like health is the least important factor, and especially if like you're playing defensive, health doesn't matter at all. Because you can just stand next to your castle and be fine.
I mean, like Agent Chase is like 900 health, and he's still like S tier. I'd still put him in S tier because, again, he's fast enough. He's ranged. He's got those advantages, and Hotwire and Crystal Cache are just
broken.
Everything about him.
Are we only putting?
Yeah, he's a 1-star damage dealer, but at that point, it literally doesn't matter if you have 5 specials on your side.
Exactly.
And then the opponent can't use any specials against you.
And if they try to retreat, you can just force cash and block them off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's too good.
Yeah, so then I still think the Sorceress should just be in front of the Wizard, just because.
Not D tier.
Yeah, because it's kind of like either or. You want more health or do you want more speed? It's kind of like that.
I would say speed, but that's just me.
I take speed as well.
I personally take health, but that's just how I play. I like to play a lot more defensively with higher health units, like the Archer versus the Ninja and Islander. I prefer the Archer just because in a scenario where I have 9 Archers versus 9 Islanders, the Archers will come out on top. That's my kind of philosophy.
True, I can agree with that.
Fair. That's fair. I mean, Guardsman, that's why Guardsman, I argue, they have like more health, at least as much health as like a Grav Runner. And then the Imperial Cavalry is just straight up broken because they have like as much health as like a tower. So.
Right. Alright then.
Alright, next character. Space Leader. Or, not Space Leader. Sheriff. I don't know what you call him.
I'm going to put.
Yeah, but he has tracking.
I know.
At best.
I'd put D, honestly.
Compared to the Wizard, though, like, is Space Laser better than Lightning?
I think so, because it's a tracking thing, and it like stays for a moment.
Tracking is also.
No, it doesn't track.
Like,
no, the laser, like it stays on a person, it has auto lock.
No, but you can run away from it. It's the same as artillery and arrow volley. You put it in a spot and it stays there, so you can run away from it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I put him in D tier, honestly.
I'd put D.
Like, he's slow. He doesn't have any damage, and he only has 1,000 health. Like, there's nothing special in terms of stats. And what are his 2 other spells?
Attack and defense.
It's armor and attack.
Yeah, he has good boosts. That's about it.
Yeah, the boosts are good.
I think he's on par with the Wizard, I think.
I think he's a little better, because I just like using the laser more. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Is he the only ranged hero with armor and damage boosts?
I don't
know. Range? I mean, Agent Chase, I believe, as well.
No. He's the only ranged hero with attack and defense boost. I forgot about that.
Oh, true.
I think that puts him in D, because that's just such a good combo.
Well, that's about it. I think that's all he has, really.
Yeah.
And tracking, to be completely fair with tracking, is that it's not entirely useless because it can be glitched like Hotwire. Like, if you put it on a unit that's about to die and immediately kill it, it's going to last, and it's going to keep showing that through the fog of war. So you can have like sort of permanent
spying.
Yeah, exactly. Which, I mean, it's not as useful as Hotwire, but it's something. So
yeah, but the thing is, though, I think we should be focusing more on what the game is supposed to do rather than what it's not supposed to do.
I mean,
because in theory, Like, Hotwire can be one of the worst abilities in the game if you accidentally keep hotwiring infantry.
True, but I mean, if you keep hotwiring infantry,
Yeah,
I mean
you
that's
thought wire cavalry. Now you have a 450 health unit.
yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't always. It would always. Oh my god! It won't always be cavalry. Sometimes it can be like a knight, or like a builder, or some random other thing.
I mean, a builder's not bad as well.
But if you're in the middle of combat when you're using it, a builder is not what you need at that time. You need like the thing that you're trying to hotwire.
Yeah,
true.
like
Not taking away from hotwire.
which is actually really scary. That's
Like you're about to take away their like assault ship that just killed 3 of your units, and you get a builder instead.
Yeah, in that scenario, yeah, that would kind of hurt. But alien assault ship is like really good as a unit. So to be completely fair, I mean, if you can just hotwire that, you could pretty much, if you get like 4 of them and you just run them over to the enemy base, you've pretty much kind of won, unless they also have like other alien assault ships or just like even Gemma's starship. Like that's still comparable.
Catapults can counter assault ships. If you have
I
4
agree.
catapults, you can beat 4 assault ships.
But they can also run away faster than the catapults can.
That's true, but projectiles in this game have a lot of tracking to them. So if
Yeah,
they run away when the catapult shoots its last projectile, it just follows them.
But you have to also remember those specific projectiles can shoot through multiple different like buildings and into other characters, so they can like destroy both towers and a character behind it.
True.
Yeah.
I always thought it was kind of funny how if you would point it in like the building in front of it, it wouldn't do as much damage if you simply just pointed at like if you got it to attack the building in front of that other building and it would just go straight through it. And I haven't seen it go like have a limit. It just doesn't phase through infantry and special units, but buildings are like it'll just go straight through them. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally used that to just break a world record today.
That's cool.
Cool.
Oh, how about walls? Do they go through walls?
No. Yes, no, they do actually. They do.
Oh man, that's
Wait, what projectiles?
the alien assault ship projectile.
Same one on the ballista
okay.
and on the
siege tower.
Siege tower, yeah. A couple other things.
Yeah, it's the non-catapulting special projectile. Probably they did that so like they assumed that it would be balanced because the other one lobs and does splash damage, while this one just pierces through. So I assumed that was how they did that.
Which honestly, in my opinion, makes it more broken, but you know.
Yeah. They got
Alright. Yeah. Alright. Next person. Who should we do next?
Gemma.
I'll do Gemma. Where are we thinking Gemma?
B, I think.
C or D.
Yeah, C or D. I mean, putting her in the same tier as the king feels wrong. So
Because the king would wreck Gemma in a heartbeat.
She has EMP though. That's like that's almost on par with Biff, and I think that does help her.
Yeah, but Gemma's slower, does less damage, and has less health than Biff by a significant margin.
Yes.
It's hard to justify Gemma over Biff because Biff is just so much better. Like, being a ranged hero is not necessarily an advantage in a lot of cases, especially against a real person. So it just leaves your hero out in the open.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think that her ranged advantage is like, I think that different ranged heroes have even different like ranges. Like just like how the catapult doesn't have the same range as like a tier 3, like it has more range than a tier 3 tower. It's
they're all 5, I think.
Yeah, they all have the same range.
Yeah. If Gemma had like the range of a catapult, I could see her being on the same level with Biff, but she does not. So
no, then she'd actually be useful.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think a solid C tier is nice because EMP is really strong, but I don't think it makes up for her lacking in literally every other area.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what, that. If she didn't have EMP, she'd be like an E tier.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I think that bumps her up to C because she's definitely better than the other three in D and E.
Yeah.
Sheriff. He's the other EMP. I think he's worse than Gemma,
He's a D.
to be honest.
I don't. Maybe.
Well,
I
Cavalry's just worse than Laser, right? Because you can actually run away from that one easier.
No, they're the same spell, like the exact
Oh,
same.
really?
The averages are a bit different, but I think that's just RNG. They function the exact same. I think Sheriff is a little bit better because having the attack boost with the EMP, right? Because defense boost doesn't help you with EMP because you're not taking the damage anyway.
True.
I think very slightly above, but still just flawed because I would rather use Biff.
Yeah, and there's no reason you ever touch these two.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I think it's a big problem with this game. Some of these characters, there's just never a reason to play like half of them.
Yeah, I think Sheriff and Gemma are definitely just either or. You can interchange between them. But yeah, you'd rather just pick Biff over those two.
All right, what about the Governor?
Governor
Broadside.
Broadside is like king, but
yeah, he's like
B tier.
Yeah,
he has attack and defense.
Well, yeah, this which is really useful. I think personally, I think he's just below the king.
Yeah, in my opinion,
I can agree with
the
that.
king.
Yeah.
I think King is better than Broadside, but I think Camila is better than Queen. Very slightly.
Really?
Interesting. That is interesting, but I suppose it's fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's like
they're like kind of interchangeable. The two of them, they're both good.
Yeah, I think
Isn't
Camellia is statistically the best. She can actually outclass the Ghost.
Yeah, she's she's literally the most balanced character in the game. She's a 3-speed, 3 damage, and 1000 HP. She has like the middle of the road for everything.
Yeah, which is that's pretty good.
And her spells and everything aren't even that bad either. Like they're pretty decent.
Exactly.
The artillery only do like 80 damage.
Yeah, but it has a really big splash area.
Yeah, it's not the best spell,
Earthquake's
but
way
it's
better. I think the Queen's better.
And okay.
Earthquake is a good spell.
It's like, what's better? What would you rather have? Would you rather have Earthquake or would you rather have attack defense on all your units?
I'd say attack defenses because you can just mitigate a lot of that Earthquake.
I can agree with that.
It's pretty. They're pretty much balanced. But
and attack defense can be maintained a lot longer than Earthquake can. I think that's another thing we have to consider.
It's a lot cheaper too.
Yeah,
because
it doesn't involve your hero being like right up to the.
Because in total, attack defense is a third of what Earthquake is.
Yeah.
So you'll still have enough money for, another attack spell.
Yeah, or you can just make some more trees, I guess.
Which is always useful.
Indeed.
Do you think they're above the aliens then?
I don't know.
Because ESP is just
it's so good.
They're faster, so I think they are.
And ESP is only 400, so that is. I mean, you can just spam it for longer, and it's better than any damage, I'd say, because it's cheaper. Yet it allows you to actually get in and do that damage.
And you can use it twice in a row without any negatives, and you can use both your boosts as well.
Exactly. That's why ESP is so good.
Yeah, so I think they're definitely above, but not by a lot. Like, if their thing was only 400, I think they'd be above.
Yes,
the difference
everything was.
A and B tier is a lot more than B and C tier. It's very close between A and B, and then B and C is really far apart.
I agree. Yeah, I think there's a pretty big jump.
Because to be completely fair, I'd say that C and B tier divides what is viable and what isn't. B tier, you can run a match with a B tier, and you can still win. You can still win without much difficulty. But C tier, you're playing at a disadvantage if you had simply gone with a B tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, C tier's still good, but it's just flawed. There's no point really
Right.
using them over the other heroes.
True.
Or S, A, and B, those are all like viable. They all fill a kind of a unique role.
S especially. S is like, why aren't you picking them?
Yeah, there's no point
Exactly.
using any other hero than Chase.
It's broken, but sometimes some people just want to play as like an alien that isn't Agent Chase. Or, well, to be completely fair, I think it's funny that the alien characters of Agent Chase and the alien criminal are like top tier. Like,
Although his background is orange.
Well,
it is, but he's
orange
still
actually goes for the special heroes that you unlock via mini kits. Like Santa, Forestman, Conquistador, all have orange.
Yeah, it's true. That's a fair point.
yeah. Same with
Does
classic
Ghost also
space.
count as a skeleton when it builds?
Be a Ghost of Skeleton, just because of what faction they're unlocked by.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't think the troll is a skeleton.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
I'm pretty sure anyway.
Skeleton, like literally, or like as in?
The build animation.
The build
The build
animation.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's just like the wizard building animation. Is the skeleton.
Kind of interesting that like the wizards and aliens have the unique building animations, whereas everybody else is like just the minifigure coming
Because
together.
everyone else is just human. They're different.
True. True.
Yeah.
True. I mean, now that I think about like the Imperial is like the only human like bad guys in the series.
And they're not even like really bad guys. Technically, they're the good guys.
Yeah. I think they're good.
You could.
Because pirates. One of the levels in Pirate is literally called Pillage and Plunder.
Yeah, but they're presented as heroes in like the main thing. I mean, if you look at the main title screen, there's Brickbeard, the king, and you have one of the Biff or Gemma, and
It's Biff. It's Biff.
Yeah,
Even though he's playable in the campaign, it's for some reason Biff.
Yeah. I feel like that was kind of like an oversight, but whatever.
I think he was originally supposed to be in, but they realized how powerful he was, so he switched it with Gemma. It must have been something like that.
Well,
It was for inclusivity. I think they just added Gemma for a female hero to play as.
In the campaign, yeah. And then just forgot to change the main title screen.
Or they had the title screen and they couldn't change it.
Probably.
Because it's a unique pose.
It is. Although, I mean, in the campaign cutscenes, you kind of see that Biff is like the incompetent one. Like, it's kind of funny. Like in the cutscenes, like
they made him go out too, which is also funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although I am curious, but like, I mean, technically, are the bad guys really? I mean, like, Wizard's just trying to like get his wife back.
Aliens trying to get off the planet.
Yes.
If anything, everyone else is the villain.
Yeah, it is. It is. If anything, the Earth guys are the bigger Imperials than the Imperials.
I think the only reason why Imperials and Pirates weren't switched is because the theme is called Pirate.
Yeah, and therefore they're the protagonists.
All kids always want to play with the Pirate guys, not the Imperial guys.
I think I'm the only one who wants to do the inverse. I think Imperials are way cooler than the Pirates.
I think so
too. But like Pirates of the Caribbean came out around that time, and
and it's like the Pirates are always the cool ones, which I get, but personally, I prefer Imperials.
Pirates are also a little bit more distinct from Castle because Imperials, I mean, they're blue as well, and they're kind of like a almost, if you think about it, a reskin of like the Kingdom. I mean, I know so is Pirates, but like they're cavalry, swordsmen, and riflemen. So,
well, I think the whole thing is because we were discussing this a couple of days ago, but like the ninja faction technically existed during the Kingdom faction, even though it's not shown in the game. But like in actual Lego lore, that's what happened. So I think it's like the Kingdom evolved into the Imperium, which then fought the pirates, and then you could even say that evolved eventually into the Earth or whatever.
Yeah, it did. It evolved into like the Earth, like the Kingdom, into the Imperium, into the Earth. Although, again, it's hilarious. I would say it's hilarious. Like maybe it was intentional, but like the Islanders are against the Imperials. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. And speaking of, let's do Captain Brickbeard then. Let's do that.
Yeah, where are we putting this dude?
I'm going to put him. I would put him at least at like a top C tier or
I
a low
agree.
B tier.
Really?
I think C, because his moves, they're like, if you can hit the right spot, they're really good, especially crabs, because they hit so many units all at once. And against towers, especially, monkeys just do so much damage. Like, they absolutely shred.
Might be the best 1v1 hero.
Best 1v1 hero is the alien
commander.
It's
commander.
or classic space. It's classic space or alien commanders. So they're like the 1v1 kings.
Drop 3 monkeys pretty much at the same time.
You can drop 3 monkeys at the same time, really? How much damage do they do?
Pretty much. I don't know.
They do a lot, though.
Coconut Storm does, or it can do over 300 damage in 1.5 seconds. Coconut Storm is basically Monkey, but stronger. It's like Monkey is like the lightning to Coconut Storm Earthquake.
Yeah. And also Monkey is like only 400, so...
Is Coconut Storm Kid Kakuna?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's pretty much like the artillery from Broadside.
Is like Troll King level. I put him above, but maybe not. Because he has forest too. He has forest and attack.
True, he does have both of those.
Coconut Storm is the most, or it does have the highest damage cap in the game.
I don't think he's above Broadside though.
No, he's not above, but he's still really good. Like 1v1 hero.
Comparable. Yeah, comparable.
Like you could definitely use him.
Coconut Swarm only one target, or is it multiple?
It's only one, but it locks on. It's like the monkey. It only does damage to one thing.
Yeah, I think he's pretty viable.
Yeah. Lady Pirate or what was her official name? It was like Mrs. Brickbeard or Lady Pirate. There was like an official name for her, but I don't know. I can't think of it out the top of my head.
Where should we put her? I think she's about the same as the pirate. No?
Yeah, she's the same as Brickbeard, I'd say, roughly. If a bit fast, it's the same trade-off as like the other female to male.
Yeah, she's faster but does less damage.
Yes.
And I think, I think speed is just that more important for a hero.
I don't think she's B tier though.
You think she's B tier?
Oh, I don't think she's B tier.
No, I think she's C. I think both of them are C.
I think they're both better than Wizard, but I'd drop them down that low personally. But I know you guys disagree.
C.
Yeah, I say just keep them there because they're still better for 1v1. I think they might be actually on par with the Space Place Captain, just because the Captain's just better at attack defense, while Captain Brickbeard and Lady Pirate don't really have anything like that, because they have defense plus, I think, or attack.
I think it's
defense.
It's defense speed, I think.
Yeah, having
Lady Pirate is just bad king.
I can agree with that.
I normally rank the speedy heroes higher, but I do think Brickbeard is better than Lady Pirate because at least Brickbeard does have max damage.
Again, I don't think damage matters as much for a hero though, besides in 1v1s. But the odds of that happening are actually pretty low, since you're usually protecting your hero.
That's the only thing they're good at, though.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of like the same. You could either or.
Honestly, I'd take a little bit of speed over, just so you have a better time of escaping and actually using your hero more. But that's just me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be willing to switch them.
As well. I mean, they're relatively interchangeable. I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't say that somebody who picks Brickbeard is at a disadvantage. I just say that they have a different advantage. But I guess from our biases, we just prefer speed a little bit more. So
Yeah, I'll leave it like that.
I prefer speed over damage, definitely.
All right, dwarf.
I'm going to put him as the same tier as Captain. Mining buff is, I mean, you can use it, but it's just not worth it.
It's
like only
so
300.
situational.
It's two
It's
horrible
not even-
spells.
Yeah, honestly, I put him at E
It's
tier.
just better fun. Yeah, E tier.
I personally put him top of E tier because actually I put him.
He has good boosts and damage. That's it.
I honestly like using the Sorceress better than I like using him.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, does
that's
he have attack and defense?
He is the damage and armor. Yeah,
That is a good combo, though.
that is.
the
That's
only-
why I was considering. That was what we gave to. That was why we put Captain.
You're
Space
right.
Police Captain.
You're right.
So,
You're right.
yeah.
Would you guys rather use dwarf or captain though? That's
Captain.
I'd rather use the dwarf, to be honest.
Yeah, because honestly, tracking is just so useless.
so is mining buff though, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, but like, there's definitely a scenario where that could come in handy. Like, genuinely, you could use that.
Yeah, there's actually some maps where you can have a really good defendable mine, and you can just have him stand next to it and just keep buffing it over and over.
Yeah,
I think I'm not
like
sure. But
the Black Seas, like the mine is like literally right with you. Like you can just put your hero right next to the mine, and just have him spam it over and over, and you could easily get a ton of value out of that.
exactly. Although I'm not entirely sure, but I think mining buff is also like a 300 spell as well. So
It is. It's the same as the tree chopping.
yeah. So I mean, it's definitely has its uses. So it can be used.
Both of them are
Unlike
way
tracking,
too
which,
overpowered.
as it is now, can't be used.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Tracking's the worst spell.
Easily.
Well, Conquistador, or
Oh yeah, what do we do with him?
I think D.
I've never
Sure.
used him, personally.
He has to be next to Dwarf King. He's just weaker, and he has Crab Swarm. Crab Swarm is better than Thunderhammer, but he does less overall damage. But he is faster, so
he's faster. Does he have the attack and defense boost as well?
yeah, it's the same spells. It's just Thunderhammer is swapped with Crab Swarm.
Yeah, and Crabstorm actually works like more than
Kind of,
half the
yes.
time.
Crab Swarm is also glitched.
And then there's Forestman, who is I'd toss him into F tier. That's where he belongs.
Mm.
Stat wise, he's good for a ranged hero anyway. But yeah,
Is
bad
there
boosts or the
anything
worst
for him?
boosts.
Like arrow
Tracking.
volley just for damage, I guess.
Arrow volley's good damage, yeah, but that's all he has going for him. I don't think he's F tier. I don't think he's that bad, but
I mean, okay.
Yeah, but he's a
E tier,
2-speed, 2 damage with only 1,000 health. That's Camilla is literally better than him in almost every way.
Like-
Stats-wise alone.
The second best range hero in terms of stats.
yeah, he's not.
Damage.
He's not. I don't think he's the worst, but he's still pretty bad. There's nothing going for him.
I think
Yeah,
his
he
biggest issue is the fact that, like, there isn't any positive to him. Like, there's
why
no...
would you pick
He's not
him?
even maxed in any stat.
He's not
Yeah.
maxed in any stat. His spell pool is abysmal. Like, sure, he can be used, but, like, if you pick him, it's, like, the worst possible option.
Like, I would literally take Wizard and Sorceress over Forestman any day. Like, Forestman, he's simply outclassed. If you want Arrow Volley, you can literally just get, like, Ninja Master, who has Teleport and better boosts.
Yeah, because, like, he has a spell that's completely useless. At least the Wizard and Sorceress have spells that can be used, even if they're not good.
Exactly.
Yeah, better boost, better stats. Yeah, I can see Forestman. Yeah, F for Forestman.
tier.
I can see that.
He's an F tier for Forestman. That's why it's F.
He gets his own unique tier.
yeah, okay.
He's a special man. A forest
is.
man.
Yes, the F is for Forest, so that's where he goes.
And the final two. Let's
There
go.
you
Let's
go.
start with Ninja Master first.
I mean,
Top of A
Really
or
good
S
if you're going right in.
Personally, I don't like teleport.
I
can
don't like
always-
teleport either. I think
I
it's a
didn't
little bit overrated, but I can see why people like it.
I think it's too niche. Like, if you mistime it, your hero's just dead. Because
but
there is a delay from you using it to it actually teleporting.
Yeah, it's 1 second. You just got to learn to use it before you take too much damage.
Yeah.
And then
but it is useful, and truthfully, I mean, it's a wild card. Yes, it's a wild card of spell, I'd say. Like, you can't always use it, but it can be used offensively and defensively. Like, if somebody is attacking your base,
Yeah,
and
you can
your
teleport
hero is
back.
out, yeah, you can just teleport back. So
Yeah, I think that's so situational though, because in what scenario is your hero going to be that far out where you need to use teleport?
you're scanning
yes,
brick with max speed.
Ninja Master is very fast, and he can go around the map scouting. So he's certainly, and you can also like harass your opponents with him.
I think that puts him in high B. I don't think it puts him in A tier though.
I mean, he sort of reminds me of like the Blade Master from Warcraft 3 in that, he is very annoying if used properly. Like, he is absolutely detrimental to your enemy's morale if you use him right.
But I think that's all he is. I don't think like he's annoying, but that's all he is. He's not like a menace. He's just a pest.
Yeah. I
He's only
think
good if
he's
you're
also the best
attacking.
hero to get gold bricks from, actually. Like, if you want to go gold brick hunting, he's the hero that you use.
That is true. I can agree with that. But you can also just speed boost a cavalry and then have him come back.
I know,
True,
but for early game,
at the start,
you're going to have to start
Yeah, you have to
racing
build them.
gold bricks.
It's true. But then also, I think the build boost you get with the hero, I think, is more useful than just sending him out. Because you can build a bigger army faster. Even if you don't have as many resources, it's not that hard to get them after you've had like 5 to 10 builders.
True. Although, what I'd say is that what I use him for whenever I play him is that, like, I would go and disrupt the enemy economy. I would usually apply pressure like straight out of the gate while my other builders are building the farm and barracks. I would just send out Ninja Master, and I would immediately, especially if it's like on one of those like small maps, like maps where you spawn right next to your enemy, like, he is absolutely disgusting.
I can agree with that. But I just don't think he has that use. But like, what about late game? Like, how is he useful late game? Like, at that point,
and Air Volley are all really good. Really
I
high
think
damage, really good speed.
A tier is all characters that are useful from beginning to end. I think B tier is closer to that, like, they're good, but then they might fall off a bit. And
Okay.
and then S tier is just broken.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, let's throw him into B tier.
Like, I'd say he's a really good high B tier.
Yes.
Like, he can definitely be broken on the right map, but not every map.
Which hero?
Not every map and not every mode.
Yeah.
Which hero?
But if
Ninja Master.
Oh, okay. I haven't played with him much.
Yeah.
I think
And
he's
then
best
there's
early
attacking.
game, but probably he does fall off, so that's fair enough to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is Santa, who
Santa's S.
I think he's A tier, but I don't think he's S tier.
He does
A
splash
tier.
damage.
That is really good, but I still don't think he's on like same tier as Hijack.
No, he's not. But I would say, well, he does splash damage, and he has like the best stats of any ranged hero, at least when it comes to damage. Like, he has 3 stars of damage, and that's
3 stars damage, 3-star speed, and that speed is really good.
Yes,
but he only has 900 health too.
True, but
it's mitigated by teleport.
It's mitigated by teleport and forest spawn, which
and he's also a ranged hero, so the health isn't as important, I'd say.
Exactly.
So I think he's definitely around Biff and Space Commander. I don't know where though.
Yeah, I'd squeeze him in between like classic space, like kind of funny that like the red guys are like the like I just put them together, but splash damage is good.
Splash
like,
damage is really good. I have to agree with that
25
part.
tiles. They can damage everything all at once.
Yeah, he does
Exactly.
He does have a slightly
output is
slower
crazy.
attack speed, but that kind of doesn't matter too much.
Do any heroes do more splash damage?
I'd
I think
say
he's the only splash damage hero.
Oh, really?
He's the
Yeah,
only
he is.
hero that can do splash
Oh, I
damage.
didn't know that. Huh.
I mean, others can like have moves that like do splash damage, but those
yes,
cost
exactly.
something. He's the only one that does physical, like just his normal attack does splash damage.
What
Yeah.
spells does he have? I don't remember.
he has
Speed, defense,
force
teleport,
on.
force.
Yeah, exactly. None of them are exactly like the most offensive, but
Utility-wise, he's pretty insane.
Yeah,
he
I
is
think
insane.
I just don't think. I think he's a really high A tier, right next to Biff and Classic Space, but I just don't think he cracks S.
Yeah, I think
that's
he's
fair.
right there.
That's fair enough.
Oh.
Hotwire is like in a league of its own, so.
Yeah, S tier is just cracked up, broken. Like,
Yeah.
but A tier is like I'd say that they are balanced. They also have their weaknesses. Like again, Santa has low health. He has like 900, and to be fair, I mean even though he has splash, he's probably like the only hero I would consider for like a damage dealer lineup, like because of the splash damage. It's like every hero they're only able to attack one at a time with their base attack, but Santa, he's got that
I think
splash.
Santa is the best against buildings and
Yes.
large groups of enemies. He's easily the best.
Yeah.
He is.
Solo, which why I think he's better than Alien Commander in terms of like being able to attack because he can solo groups while Alien Commander can only solo a singular other person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He can wipe out like an army of drones like before they even touch him, like, and he can heavily damage an army of cavalry before they even touch him as well. So,
And then even if he gets in a hot situation, he can still just teleport out.
Exactly. So he
Remember-
does have.
Sorry, what are you saying?
No, he's solid A tier because he still has to put him on the same tier as like Agent Chase and Pliskin. It's just not as it doesn't feel right.
His
No,
splash damage. You go.
No, you can go ahead. I got nothing.
I was just gonna say that Santa's splash damage, the highest damage is 50. It's 30 to 50. That's the same damage as Alien Commander's lowest. Alien Commander's 50 to 60.
Yeah, but
He
if you
does
can
a lot of damage.
hit four opponents at the same time, it doesn't really matter
That kind of makes up for it.
because you can quadruple or quintuple the amount of damage you do over a group rather than just an individual.
It kind of comes down to the situation then.
Range as well.
True.
He has range, and there's always a range, and he can actually kite his opponents. He has ESP to make up for the melee, but still, the range stuff.
I think Alien against Santa still like gets out alive because ESP only lasts for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, and Santa just TPs. He's like
he TPs immediately after getting ESP'd, and then you just waste your ESP. And if there's like enemies behind them, then you could be in a sticky situation at that point.
Exactly.
You guys sure you want to put Space Criminal Leader in S tier?
Yes, Hotwire.
Yes, Hotwire.
I think it might be like S and triple S or something, like S and double S.
No. I think this is enough. I actually, looking at this back, I see that Lego battles. I think it's good that a lot more of the heroes are viable than I initially remembered, because I remember only like just spamming like Ninja Master, Agent Chase, Santa, and Classic Space. Like that was like my go-to army comp, but
yeah, I prefer Biff and Alien Commander as my two. I might do more of my matches with Biff just because I love EMP so much.
Personally, I go King. I just like Earthquake a lot.
King is solid. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just that, utility wise, I mean, he has Forest Spawn, but again, I tend to look at the utility. Like, ESP is like, if there is like a tier list of spells, like at the top there's Hotwire, and at the bottom there is Tracking, and close to Hotwire there will be ESP and EMP. That's how good they are.
100%. I do not disagree with a single word you just said.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I agree as well, so.
Yeah.
All right. How about the other units in the game?
We can do those.
Yeah, that would be
Do
fun.
you have a tier list for that, or I have a slideshow that has them, but they're not. They're all in position, so I'm gonna have to reset them.
I mean, I can go. I can just look at Tier Maker.
I don't think they have them on Tier Maker. I had to make my own for Ninjago.
Yeah, I made the hero ones.
Oh, I spelled that wrong.
I think
Yeah,
there's
you
only a
made the
spell
hero
one.
Yeah, there's only the spell one. Oh yeah, let's rank the spells then.
Alright, yeah, let me pull it up. Alright, let's start off with the obvious one, Hotwire.
Hotwire S tier.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's that good. And another obvious one is Tracking. Just Forestman tier. Okay, Forestman tier.
Yeah, where's it?
It's the one that looks like a
That
planet,
one, yeah.
I think.
This
It's
one?
the one.
Compass,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a compass or not, but
I think it's supposed to be
it's
one
a
of those
radar.
sonar things.
I thought it was a
Yeah,
radar
it's like
the longest
yeah,
time.
radar.
like
Yeah.
a radar or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Flat out, that's going to be the bounds of the tier list. I mean, Hotwire. If you have Hotwire and Tracking, here's the thing though. Hotwire is much better than Hotwire is much better than Tracking is bad, because if you had a hero that had Tracking and Hotwire, they'd still go into at least an A tier. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
That would
tracking
actually
good?
be kind of a funny balance way to balance a game too.
yeah, that
Just-
would be.
Yeah. Or have like a new hero with that, just as the one that you can use competitively.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
would
think-
be.
I think one little change to Tracking could easily make it like a B tier like item. Like instead of you put it on something and then it dissipates, you can like ping an area and it reveals that area, so you can like spy on your enemy while they're building their base. I think that would immediately make it like a B tier item.
Oh, that'd be
Agreed.
super handy. Yeah.
Or just make it like permanent. That would also be good.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
like
at that
it.
point though it'd be a little bit broken.
Because then you can just spam it,
Yeah.
like recover huge sections of the map.
I think
Yeah,
I think keeping it temporary is good. I just think being able to ping it would be so much more useful.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
if
Like
it's ping it, but if you ping it again, it'll go away and do that.
It'll
Yeah.
go to the new one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That would be balanced. It would be like the far sight from the Warcraft, like the seer sight.
Yeah, or the vehicle ping from Empire at War.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
It
think
would
it should
be-
last forever, but I think it should last for a while, like 30 seconds to a minute maybe, but not forever.
No, of course not. But that would immediately make like Forestman S tier, like best hero in the
Oh, yeah.
game, no contest, of course.
And then like
and
and
Captain.
fit him too as like a reconnaissance thing.
Yeah, he would. He would be a great recon. If he had Tracking and teleport, he could be like better than Ninja Master when it comes to just annoying to your opponent. When it came
Yeah.
to like just tracking your opponents.
But then you gotta decrease his health, his damage, but then increase his speed, and he'd be like the best tracker in the game, but he's only a tracker.
I'll bring it up in Great Library and see if that's possible to edit his spells.
It should be. I think it's already a possibility.
Okay,
And then-
cool.
Oh, I think so. I like it whenever a balance change makes sense to the character. Like, I don't like those balance changes where they give like Gemma more health. I'd say just give her more range. That would be more balanced to because it fits the character.
It's
Instead
like
of
a
giving-
long range. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
turn her into like a sniper.
Exactly, like a sniper. that just like
And that would create a new hero class anyway.
exactly.
The Space Police Captain should be like that instead.
Yeah,
Space
I was
Police
thinking
is already.
the Space Police Captain, because his Space Police units would also be snipers with him.
Yeah, and that'll make more sense with his tracking too.
Yeah, that does. Like he has like the same range as like a catapult, and then Gemma has like the range in between that and what she currently has, and a little bit faster. Like that would be balanced, I'd say. That would make up for her piss poor stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually seems way better. Yeah, I kind of just gave her more health as like I'll work on this later, I guess. Yeah.
All right, let's start off with the first actual spell, Thunderhammer. I'm assuming this is what
Actual
this
spell.
E.
Actual spell.
Yeah. I mean, anybody want to explain what the exact problem with it is?
I don't think it does very much damage, right?
So when you try to tap
It
on
does
an
okay
enemy,
Damage, all
it'll
right.
just zoom
Okay.
opposite.
My number
It
is
just
fuzzy.
doesn't work properly.
If
If it worked properly, it'd probably be a C.
if it worked properly, I'd actually put it in an A. Like if it actually like hit, because it looks so powerful. Like you know, like Stormbolt from like Warcraft 3. Like that's what it's like, except it splits. Or if it stunned opponents, that would have been broken.
You know what it should have done? It should have been like you click an enemy and it smites them. But it can only smite like up to a certain like unit level. So like you can't smite specials, but like you can smite like any regular infantry.
Okay, that would have been. That would
But
have.
it's only one. It's only one at a time, and it's like 600 spell.
But you could snipe out like a cavalry that's, or you could even. I mean, I know you can't snipe out a hero, but if you could, it would have been like competitor with Hotwire. You know,
That would have made it S tier if it could kill a hero, because that just means Hotwire is useless now, because you can just kill Hotwire.
If it had that ability, I'd see it more used against specials and things like that, because like one infantryman among a swarm isn't going to do a whole lot. But if you can do like serious damage to a hero or a special, I feel like that's where I'd see its real use if it had that feature.
Like if
Yeah,
you could
if it
just do a
was-
flat like
That's basically
400,
Hotwire.
500 damage.
Hotwire would just do that.
if it did like a
Essentially.
flat 500 damage and then it stuns an opponent that survived, like an EMP or ESP, it would be a great. It would actually be a great spell.
500
But as it is now, it is a trash E tier that barely works.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
How about defense boost?
I
Defense-
actually.
Should all boosts be an S or A?
I think
think
all
it should
boosts
be
are in B.
Yeah, B.
Really?
Kind of in their own.
I think-
like, separate thing.
How I think it works is the defense and speed are in B, and then attack is an A. Personally.
Exactly.
I think
because-
Max
I think
health
that-
is best.
together,
It
if you
has a
have
very
it all
well-rounded
it would
spell.
be an A or even S tier.
Or
But individually,
It's hard to
they're
put them with the
all-
other spells.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
hard.
because
I think
they're
all
so like
good.
unique to
Yeah, every
themselves.
hero gets them too.
So, like they don't have a niche situation. Like they're just good spells to have in general. I'd say A.
yeah, exactly.
Like there's
I
no
think-
negative to it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's fair. I think that this is the order they go in as well.
That's
Damage and
yeah.
shield, then speed.
I can
Yeah, I'd
agree,
agree
with
with
that.
that.
I can agree with that. Yeah. So,
right. Oh.
Roar
Yeah,
Roar.
Roar.
B tier is what I'd put it. It's like Earthquake. Earthquake is B tier spell. You know, it does its damage. It's expensive. It's 600, but it has an impact that can shred units. So
I'd
Yeah,
say
it's a good panic
Should be
spell,
together.
pretty much. That's what it is.
All right, but which one's better? Do we put Earthquake is better or Roar is better?
Roar is
More
better.
heroes get Earthquake, so they're like the same thing though. Doesn't really.
yeah,
I think Roar is better just because it doesn't do the screen shake. Although
True.
Fair
that
enough.
Yeah.
could
And
against your
it looks
opponent,
cooler.
but
Honestly, I like the icon a lot more. The other one looks like it's just like a hammer. If it was like a massive like crack in the middle of the screen, I think that would be cooler.
that would have been cool.
As if
and
the
the
Earth
sound that
itself is escaping.
exactly. And if it had a cooler sound than that, like that, then that like sound. Exactly. It
That was
but Roar.
Personally,
Roar
I
is
like
Roar.
the because it's nostalgic, but that's the only reason.
Yeah.
Because it's just
Flashing
funny.
down.
It's
Yeah,
just
it is
funny.
funny.
Didn't the king have that spell? The thunder.
Yeah, the king has that
Yeah, I
spell
thought
and the
so.
queen has a spell.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
the ghost.
The ghost, right? I forgot about the ghost.
Yeah. Next spell, I'd say the boulder. Yeah, the boulder smash, the coconut.
Coconut.
1 tier below.
I'd put C tier. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put it
It's-
there. It's a high
It's
T.
the same damage, but it's just one target.
Yeah.
I think B tier because it's like you said, it was really good against other heroes. Because although hero versus hero combat isn't really going to happen very often, but when it does, I think that's going to be the spell that breaks it, makes or
It
breaks it.
would give an edge, yeah.
Yeah, I'd put the same with artillery. Since artillery and coconut swarm are pretty much the same.
Artillery's
Like-
Oh,
worst.
really? Oh, is it?
Artillery's work, yeah.
Artillery is worse, but they're comparable in terms
Okay.
of function.
Well, coconut swarm tracks while artillery just does damage.
Splash
and
damage, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Artillery does splash damage. In that case, yeah, they're certainly comparable then.
Yeah,
I'd
they're
say.
comparable.
I have the slideshow. Hold on. Let me. Do you have a link to the tier list maker,
Tier maker?
or do you want to just use a slideshow when you do the other units?
I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just share you the slideshow then. I have
Alright.
them all in different slides and stuff. So
Alright.
okay, here you go.
Alright, thank you. I'll do that once we get to it.
Yep.
Alright. Monkeys.
Monkeys,
I'd put E.
yeah,
I put
they
big.
shred buildings.
But
they
that's
shred
Worse. Coconut swarm.
Yeah, coconut. Coconut is just better monkey. There's no monkeys are kind of a waste in my opinion.
Monkeys are 400 as well. Coconut is like 600. So
Yeah, but they
Oh, that's a
barely
big difference.
do like
It's a
50
little-
damage. They do like
But
50.
can't you have multiple monkeys at once, though?
It's
You
a
can.
little less value.
Have the builder property of building damage. Then
But there's
Yeah.
also what you have to remember is more characters have monkeys. Meaning that there's more of an opportunity to actually see and use them.
But Kahuka is
True.
better than Brickbeard and Lady Pirate and Conquistador.
agreed.
Yeah, fair
Agreed.
enough. So you want to
Yeah.
swap monkeys and is that
Yeah.
better?
Looks right.
Yeah.
that looks good. That looks really good.
Because personally, me, I definitely put monkeys in B, but since this is better, then that just makes more sense to me.
Agreed. We have to make sure it's consistent. The tier list is consistent.
This is completely facts. No, thought behind it. It's all 100% pure, just facts of what is best.
Exactly.
It's objectively the best.
It is. That's how it works.
Yes, indeed.
Now, since we're talking speakly objectively, Lightning easily S tier. Best spell in the game, no doubt.
I mean, I'd agree with that if it wasn't on such bad heroes, but
That honestly, it does. It pretty much shreds. I think it's a better version of Earthquake, personally,
yeah, it
Really?
does.
because
It does. It does like what 400 damage each bolt.
Like 150. It's like half as
Well, it's
strong,
just-
pretty much.
oh
Yeah, it's literally half an earthquake. It
Right.
lasts half as long. It's the same thing. It's only 1 second instead of 2.
It's like average spell, pretty much.
nah. Realistically, it's probably like a C tier spell.
Yeah, it's pretty average.
Because I think it's honestly, I put it like bottom of C tier.
I mean, it's a cool spell, and I remember when I was trying to port it over into Warcraft 3, like I was trying to port it when I was trying to recreate Lego battles in the world edit in Warcraft 3. I remember that at least doing some testing on it, that it actually was pretty good against like specials and whatnot. But I can't access it again because of the Reforged, which I'm still kind of mad about, but whatever.
Not to derail this conversation, but we'll come back to that later because I'm kind of interested to hear how that goes or how that went.
Yeah, I could go back to that, but let's stay on topic.
Yeah, stay on topic, but I'd love to hear about that because that's an idea I've had as well.
Thanks.
Okay, Arrow Volley.
Should be above Coconut Storm, I think.
Yeah, I guess it's sort of like a worse version of
But I
Raging
feel like
Sword.
this spell of all spells, we have to consider who it's a part of. Because if it's that good, but on such a bad character, I don't think it can go higher than a C,
Well,
personally.
the Ninja Master gets it. I think Ninja
Oh
Master
yeah, that's
is,
right.
like,
Yeah, I forgot.
really good, but I know you guys aren't a fan of teleport, so
I'm just saying, if we're doing a
actually,
separate
then that's
spell
fine.
list, if
Like
it's a spell
halfway
list, I think it should
between
be
the.
independent of the hero.
I think it should be a factor, but not like the main. Like this, like it should be. Like yeah, I put it at B. That's fine.
Because like
Like,
if we are able to edit the spells for heroes, then it doesn't matter as much if we're gonna do balance patches to tweak heroes. I think we should keep the spell list independent of the hero. It's like, the spells factor into the heroes, but the heroes don't factor as much into the spells, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Like
I can agree.
halfway between the earthquake and lightning. It's like effectiveness wise, I'd say it's halfway.
Yeah.
So bottom of B.
Yeah, bottom of B.
Bottom B.
All right, let's do the all the caches next. Personally,
All
A tier.
Yeah, all A tier, but
yeah.
Forest Spawn is the best, with the second being the palm tree one. I forgot the name, and then the last being Crystal, because they're all different ranges. Like Crystal is short range.
Yeah. Crystal is better than Jungle because Jungle is the farthest.
No, but it spreads more. I've always found that Crystal works the worst, in my opinion.
Yeah, Crystal works from what I've seen.
Using it doesn't feel right. Like, the thing shoots so far out, and I don't feel like I'm ever actually getting any value out of it. Like,
well, I counted them. They're the same. They spawn the same amount of trees as long as nothing's in the way. It's just Jungle Growth is 2 tiles farther out.
Yeah, honestly, I just feel like Jungle Growth works better, in my opinion. But it doesn't really matter because they're essentially the same.
Yeah, they're all the same thing.
They're all the same. But if I were to choose between Forest Spawn and Crystal, I'd choose Forest Spawn. But they're all great. So
I just like the way Forest works. Honestly, I don't know why. It's just I've always liked the way it worked better than Crystal.
Is there much of a difference between them?
Not really.
Forest
I was gonna say
spawns like half the amount of trees, but it just works better, so it's better.
Yeah, it just
spawns a wall.
Does it have
Force
high
spawn
magic
in
cost?
line, while Cash and Crystal do it in like a box almost.
And the box just doesn't work that well.
Yeah. What's the magic cost? Do you guys know?
400?
Yeah,
400. Because I know you can use it multiple times in a row.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad then. I'd say 4 twins then.
Yeah. Definitely. If I were like the one behind it, I assume that they made them all different because, first of all, I mean, theming Forest Spawn, if you're on Mars and you do Forest Spawn, you're terraforming. You're not making crystals.
Wait, does it not match the trees of the era?
No, it does.
Yeah.
It does match the tree of the map, but it's still kind of funny. But I think, and I feel like they're all coded differently. I feel like the developers at Hellbent, they didn't just like say it was like growth. They didn't just call it growth or spawn. They actually went in. So
yeah, they're all unique to each other in some way. I feel just personally that Forest works the best.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
I don't have any personal experience or recent personal experience, so I don't have an opinion.
Okay. Let's just do the other two supports. The tree chopping.
C.
I think it should be C. Yeah.
And then mining, I think it's D.
D.
Because mining
is expensive.
I feel like how it should work is S tier is just Hotwire. A is all around useful. B has a lot of use, but it can be choppy sometimes. C is like middle of the road. D is like situational. E barely usable. F completely useless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Logging buff is. Sorry. Yeah, logging buff would be really powerful if it was on a hero with 4. Because right now it's just on a hero with Roar, which is 2 very unique spells on one hero, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Great spell for Gold Rush.
How many spells does each hero have? Is it 2 or 4?
They have 2 spells and then 2 of the boosts. So either damage, shield, or speed.
Okay.
You know,
Not to
what would-
completely sidetrack, but I think we should get rid of Forestman's one of his boosts and give him tree growth.
you know that would,
Yeah.
Just get rid of tracking.
if we give
Yeah,
him growth
I can give
and
him
tracking,
correspond. That's what I always do to my balances. I think every
Okay.
single one of my balance updates has that.
the 4 spells that make sense for Forestman are Forest Spawn, tracking, and then the other ones would be volley, and then some might consider this ironic, but logging, logging buff, the lumber buff.
That too, yeah. Logging buff would
I'd
work
say
for him.
speed buff maybe instead of logging buff, but I think it could go either way.
I'm actually surprised that. Sorry, but I'm actually kind of surprised that logging buff and mining buff aren't considered in the same tier of like the boost. Like they aren't. They by the developers, they weren't deemed to be the same. I know that they only cost 300, but they feel like a mix between boosts and the actual spells. So
They work a lot differently.
Yeah, I think if there were 100 and they were just like one of the 3, like there were just 2 more, like you could also get these specific boosts. Actually, if they were added together, I think they'd be useful. Like they would be a genuinely A tiered spell. But as they are now, since they're divided,
yeah,
they're only C tier. And or a building boost would also be nice. That would be like an S tier.
Oh yeah, that'd be very helpful.
If they were area spells, they would like if you actually like had an area of mines and you did that, that would have actually been like really cool. And
Stand fast. That's the only thing I can remember.
Yeah, stand fast
Ernie.
and Tree Hall.
Yeah, it would be like an S, like no, okay, maybe not S tier, but an A tier on those because you get like those packs of mines and then you just do mine buff and in area and it's like yeah, you know.
Yeah, you get like 50,000 in 2 seconds.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, but as it stands now, mining's D because situational and force C because it's useful, but it's not crazy.
Right.
Agreed.
All right, Gemma's laser. Where are we putting it?
Laser, B tier.
Laser, artillery, and cluster bomb are all the exact same spell, just different.
No,
different.
artillery is different because
Splash.
splash, and it's in a specific spot you place it, so they can just move out of the way and it's useless.
No, they're the exact same. Trust me, I've tested these spells thousands of times. They're the exact same. Same
Really?
damage, same effect.
Okay.
Yes, they just look different. They
Interesting.
all function identically.
I thought. All right, whatever.
They look different because the Space Laser has laser from the sky, but it's the same area of effect.
If I may ask, but
Okay.
does it is Thunderhammer like Fireball because
Yes.
it's supposed to be okay?
Yeah, Thunderhammer
Okay,
and
so-
Fireball are the same pretty much.
Fireball
but
isn't buggy though.
Thunderhammer
Well, it
just-
kind of is, but it's not the same. It has a different glitch.
What's a glitch?
If you shoot it at max range, it actually goes up to 25 tiles away.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it still does like 50 damage. So
Wait, which spell?
Fireball.
Fireball.
Huh.
Where do you want to put fireball, by the way?
Solid
Like,
D
Hey,
tier.
wait, why do you put
Here as-
cluster bomb should be lower? To be honest,
Really? I thought cluster and artillery
bomb-
work about the same, personally.
They have the same damage values, but it could just be RNG. But from my testing, cluster bomb did have the lowest average. But I think that it could just be RNG. I don't know.
It could be RNG. I think in the end. I don't know because the fact that they made different spells tells me that they did code them somewhat differently, or at least try to, create some sort of difference. But I guess it was sort of like half-assed. So
Yeah, Roar and Earthquake are pretty much the same, so I would say the same between artillery and space laser.
I always feel like Space Laser works, like, it feels different when you use it,
it
It
does,
does.
and it looks cooler, I'd say.
Like, personally, I always feel like I get more use out of Space Lasers than I do artillery. But I'm willing to drop it down.
I
From
think
B.
Space Laser is just a worse version of Arrow Volley.
Yeah, it is. It's similar to Arrow Volley and Crab Swarm from what I've seen. Like Crab Swarm and Arrow Volley and Laser to me are the ones that seem to be based off of each other, like derivative of each other. So,
All right, then I will put it down to C.
Okay, so Crab Swarm is the same as Arrow Volley, except it works like ESP and EMP, where it goes out in waves.
yeah.
So instead of being like a big area of damage, like artillery or Arrow Volley all at once, it goes out like slowly.
So what do you think is better?
Arrow Volley is definitely better, but
I'd say
they're,
I'd
like,
say Arrow
same
Volley is
damage
better.
values.
I still don't think crabs are big because they can just hit so many opponents at once.
They can.
They do less, or they hit less damage than, or less area than the Arrow Volley.
Really?
Oh.
It's like here I can see. I might have pictures of like the radius of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like 9, and the others were 7, I believe. Like a 9x9 triangle.
It's like a diamond here.
Yeah, diamond, not triangle.
Yeah, it might take me a little bit to find it. It's on my phone somewhere. I'll send them.
Well, while we're waiting, we should vote the EMP and ESP.
I'd put ESP a
here,
little bit.
probably A.
Huh?
ESP.
I think EMP is a little better.
I'd
I'm
say
drawing a
ESP.
complete blank. I don't
better.
know.
Yeah,
ESP.
EMP is just slightly better.
Though I think they're both top A, personally.
Yeah, they should be A or B, not
They're
S.
both.
They're definitely not S. Nothing S besides Hotwire.
No, but they're definitely A tier from my because I'd actually put ESP a little, like a tiny bit higher than EMP, if only for the fact that it works also on heroes, and that is quite useful.
But EMP is just a special unit negator. It's like you can just counter alien assault ships with that, and just
I think EMP would be more useful than ESP. I'd say. I feel like you're more likely to use it against specials than heroes.
Yeah, well, I feel like, okay, if EMP also worked on like towers, it would immediately outclass ESP. But
If it worked at that point, it would be S tier because you can just shut down Tower 3s and make them completely useless and then shred them. That'll make it S tier.
Yeah,
I think EMP is a little bit better than ESP personally because both of them are definitely better than any of the boosts because they shut them all down. Because even if you have triple boosts on a character, it doesn't matter because one little EMP or ESP and it stops them in their tracks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If Hotwire wasn't bugged, I think EMP would be the best in the game.
True.
Yeah, EMP and ESP. Well, I thought we were basing these based off how the spells were supposed to work, not how they work.
I still think Hotwire in this current meta is S tier.
Practical.
Yeah, I mean, Hotwire is so easy to glitch that I feel like it is just you can't help but use that glitch anyway, just to.
It happens on accident. Like you might accidentally hijack something really good.
Yeah,
I haven't used a spell recently. How difficult is it to pull off? Like, could it be done in a match?
I've done it randomly before.
I've done it on accident like a couple of times, and mostly they were like versus like, especially against like the AI against like, against like an alien assault ship. Like I try and hotwire that, and then I end up accidentally hotwiring the hero unit underneath, and I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to do this, but that's cool. I'll take that.
Wait. If you hotwire transport with things in it, do those things get deleted or they get added to your army?
They're still in the opponent's army.
They're still
That's funny.
You could actually lower your opponent's count by just having units in there. So if you hotwire a transport ship with units in there, it counts to your opponent's cap, but they can't do anything with them.
That's broken. That is busted.
Yeah,
that is so busted.
Wire the transport.
That's kind of cool. I don't know how practical it would be, but that's cool. Especially with
especially against AI.
Oh yeah, true. And if there's a special in it, that's gonna really hurt them.
Oh, of course. Like you just shut down 2 specials at least, like at most, and then their regular infantry. You pretty much got rid of like a farm's worth of infantry and 2 farms worth of special. Like that's
facts.
That is super busted. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hotwire is going to stay the S-rated.
Yeah, Hotwire is just broken, and I don't know what kind of
You can always
like a wizard.
Hotwire infinite transports, anyways.
Yeah, like
The
Hotwire.
AI can still control them for some reason.
The transports, yeah, but not against human players. Well, AI meta can be easily cheesed too, though. So
Yeah, the AI just bunker. They don't really expand or play like a human
I
would.
was playing, I forget which map it was. I was playing on one map though, and the AI went all the way across my entire base to drop their troops off. By the time they got there, their transport died as it was dropping their troops off.
they were trying to
Man.
flank you, but forgot that you had other units.
Also, the AI will sometimes build a barracks at your base if you leave the builder alone. Like,
I
they'll
know.
sometimes bring the builder onto you and just build a barracks there.
Yeah. They're not the brightest knives in the crayon box.
No.
No.
Except during endgame for some reason. On endgame, they just send their whole force at you immediately and crush you.
I mean, endgame they start to micro, but like that's
Yeah, levels like stand fast or hard because you can't really move your base out of the way and just let the AI kind of just clump up right on top of you. And yeah.
Actually, there's a cheese for that though. If you
There
build
is.
walls in front of your towers, all the range units will attack the walls, and then all the infantry will come through the walls to attack you. So you can kill the infantry,
Really?
no problem, and then you can destroy the range units with your units.
Walls.
Never
Yeah,
noticed
I
that.
did
That's
that
kind of
in
No,
crazy.
it's not the fact that they can't shoot over walls, it's the fact that they just target the walls for some reason. But the infantry
Fly
doesn't, they go
over
through it.
walls either.
It's like Clash of Clans.
It's honestly, it's hilarious. Like, that's how I made the level, like, the easiest level in the game. Like, if you do that properly.
The level where you have to like protect against like
Two.
the wizard's act 2 level.
Yeah.
No, it's an Act 2 level for King. It's the 3rd mission, and it's the thing is, from the right, you're being attacked by a group of trolls,
I
and
get
on the
it.
left, you're attacked by the wizard's forces. And they
Hey, guys,
pincer you.
Hope I'll be back in a bit.
Oh, see you then. Well, actually, hold on. But hold on. Okay, so the way I was aware of the AI. Okay, so the unit pathfinding in the game already is not that good, and the AI seems to have the same pathfinding as the units. It seems, because I remember a few times. I think it was on the Northlands map, the one where you spawn back to back. That one, I know that the AI got stuck in the mountains a few times because of the way I was positioned. And so there were like these, like not 20 units, but like 12 units that were at least like stacked against this mountain that were trying to get to me.
Speaking of stupid AI, on Ruthless, the map for multiplayer, there's a mine in the top left, right next to the enemy base. And what I did was I built my mine there, one of my mines, right next to their base, and then I built Tower 3 right next to it, and I killed all of their builders because they were sending them into mine stuff, but they didn't understand how to like actually send troops there for the longest time. So I was just sitting there upgrading this tower to Tower 3 with one builder, mind you, and I ended up wiping out like a vast majority of their army when they finally decided to send them over because they just didn't attack the tower. So I ended up killing all their builders, building a mine right next to their base along with the Tower 3, and it stayed there for the rest of the game, and they didn't challenge it.
That's hilarious. So
It was the most surreal thing I've ever experienced.
anyways, it's on a different planet.
That is.
Yeah, it was weird. Alright, so teleport. Where are we putting it?
I would say it's
A tier.
it's A tier.
I think it's D, honestly.
It's
Really?
so good though.
I think it depends solely on the character that it's on.
If it's on like
Ninja Master and Santa?
Yeah, the thing is, it's good because it's on good characters.
Or are the characters good because they have teleport?
Santa has splash damage.
Santa has splash damage, and Ninja Master is fast and attacks fast as well. So
both are very viable characters that are better with teleport. You know what? D is bad. I think a solid C because it's like it's like top of C.
Yeah,
I think top C. I agree with that.
Yeah, top
Santa and Ninja Master the best attacking heroes. It really helps them because they can always like get out of there.
It's a get out of jail free button, yeah. But the problem is, if you put it on like Wizard's still like an E tier character, maybe D tier, but it's useful because those characters' skill sets are so specific to teleport. Like it feels like they were built around to teleport, you know?
Yeah.
Especially Ninja Master.
Ninja Master and Santa are pretty much the same anyway.
Like Ninja Master especially feels like he was made for teleport.
Agreed. Santa, and especially Ninja Master feels like teleport was made for him. And again, Santa also benefits from teleport, and it fits into his like non-offensive but more utility-focused kit.
But I still think Santa would be like A tier without teleport.
Agreed, but I would say that he would be better off with teleport than he was with Earthquake or Roar.
Yeah, I agree.
If the Ghost had teleport, I feel like he'd be really good. He's the Earthquake and he's very fast.
Teleport instead of like Fireball, that would be like actually
insane.
Really solid. Yeah, that would be.
Honestly,
that would be insane.
Yeah, that might be really good for the. Actually,
no other hero can travel.
I might actually add that. I'm going to add that right now to the Ghost.
Yeah, and it makes sense for the Ghost as well because Ghost just teleports in as like, oh my wow, mo Shinbai.
Slaughters all your builders.
Exactly, with Earthquake.
Just dips.
Exactly.
You know what? I honestly bump it up to B tier. I bump it up to B tier.
To any place, uses Earthquake, refuses to elaborate, leaves.
Giga Chad Ghost.
I think it's definitely better than all the like meh spells.
I think it's definitely a low B tier because again, it's a situational spell. I think that's the biggest thing is that it's good, but it's only good in certain situations.
Yeah, it's only good if you're really aggressive.
Agreed.
Because if you're super defensive, it literally is useless.
It's useless.
If you are, but if you're hyper aggressive, it's great. It's great to have. Like if teleport allowed you to like teleport anywhere on the map and not just like back to your base, it would be broken. Okay, you just tap on your hero and then you just tap on a.
Oh yeah, it would literally be the same as Hotwire. It'd be an S tier with Hotwire if that's how it works.
Exactly.
But again, I think that's just too broken.
You can teleport between bases.
Yeah, you could literally do something like that. Or how it works is you build like a castle and then you can pick which castle you teleport to.
That would be nice too. And
that would be nice. Yes.
With it.
Or if you could tap on it and then you can tap on another unit that you can teleport to, or you could teleport that unit to you as well. So you could literally teleport like an alien assault ship. Like you could literally just like go behind an enemy base, like with Ninja Master, and then just teleport in like your whole army, and that wouldn't be broken.
I think Insei Wu from Ninjago has that exact ability called Helping Hand, where he'll teleport somebody right next to him wherever he's at.
Exactly, and it's pretty good. It's a good spell.
So I mean that's already coded into the game. In theory, you could just pull the files from Ninjago and then put them in battle, since games are so similar, and it might just work.
It might. Yeah. It might.
That would be nice.
It would be nice, especially for like a character like Ninja Master, or maybe not Ninja Master. Ninja Master is already good where he is. From what
I think it should be used for something like a really tanky hero to bring like something that can help them like actually make their tankiness more viable. Like I think if you give that to Wizard, that would honestly be better than any other spell.
And it would be cool if he actually like raised an army of undead with him, like to help him.
That would be sick.
That would be cool, like a necromancer. That would been That would have been amazing, actually.
That would easily boost him to like a B tier hero, like pretty usable.
Exactly. I mean, again, like with the Warcraft comparison again, like the Necromancers, he already kind of looks a bit like one, you know? And he does have an army of undead, so he literally could do that, and it would fit into the character as well, which I think is important. Like, they should have a consistent theme, the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I agree with this list pretty much.
Any edits? Anything at all?
No, nothing else. It's a good list. I agree with it.
I can get behind this list. Yeah.
If you guys look at the chat for, I guess the Discord call.
Yeah.
I sent the range or the radius of the crab swarm is the first one with the blue on it, and then every other spell is the bottom one on all in red.
Where is it?
In the Discord, the chat. I guess the chat for the call.
Oh,
yeah, it's voice chat. It's voice chat. Wait, where is it?
Yeah, it's not there.
Or,
it should be there. It's not in the actual general chat.
If you hover over the general voice chat, there's like a little text box thing.
Oh, I see it. Oh, yeah, I see it. Oh, okay. Which one's which again?
Blue tiles for the crab swarm. Those are random. They happen sometimes they don't, and when they do happen, it's only 5 damage. So that's like the difference in radius between crab swarm and every other spell.
Okay, so I'm actually that's definitely gonna drop crab swarm for me.
Yeah, like it can do decent damage, but it's not as good of a radius.
Honestly, I dropped it down to B tier or C tier. Sorry.
Yeah. Below laser.
Yeah, I put it like right there. I think there's a good spot.
That looks good.
Yeah, that's much better.
And now it makes the Captain Heroes C tier make all the more sense.
Yeah, it does. Laser does feel better, so.
Alright, is this the list? Everybody agree with this?
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Alright.
Alright, you want me to open the Google Doc?
It's a slideshow. Don't put it in presentation mode, just keep it as is. Right. Yeah, that helps a little more. Okay.
Yeah, alright.
Pirate Builder S tier.
Pirate Builder S tier, alright.
I agree.
An Earth and Alien A tier.
Earth Alien A tier.
I think Alien should be above Earth, personally.
Yeah, I think
because he's faster.
Yeah, he's faster, but the Earth one's just cheaper. So, do you want to?
Honestly, the money value matters so little for the builder specifically.
Yeah.
Comparison to other things.
They're very close.
Like we're talking like differences of like 5 or 10 at this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd say
why would you use Earth over Pirate?
To ever pick it.
King is the worst
he made the worst tower one. It has shorter range.
Ones.
Well,
it's just like in case you need it, it's like how worse having it.
If I may say, but something that annoyed me a lot about the builders is that, I mean, all the buildings, aside from like the towers and the, they would all be the same. And that kind of annoyed me maybe I know that they're trying to keep balance, but it would have been so cool if like different factions had like different build times and costs for their different things. Like imagine if every faction had like a different sort of mine that mined differently.
Yeah, and like the wizards could like build faster, the kings have more health and stuff like that.
Like they make buildings with more health?
Yeah, exactly. Like, or their buildings are more expensive, but they have more health, and they take longer to build, but they do have more health, and then they produce their units faster. So
and like and then you would have like the Imperial just be like what it is now, and then like other ones have certain boosts but disadvantages. Like aliens like they build it super quickly, and it's like everything produces slightly faster or shoots faster, but it's got like lower health.
Yeah, that makes sense. That would, or especially it would make sense with pirates. Like they build everything fast and cheaply, and it's all shanty, and the shanty shack is literally just a shack. I mean, their plantation is literally just an upside down boat with wheat growing next to it. I mean, and it has the same health as like a biodome on Earth, and it's kind of funny if you think about that.
Yeah, and the Earths could have like the highest possible like HP for all the buildings, but it takes forever to build, and they're super expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Like honestly, and it would fit the builders. Like especially since the alien builder has low health, but it builds very quickly. So
Right.
As it stands right now for like
Yeah,
balancing stuff, I think it's just better as it is. Because if you change the values too much, it can like either break the game in some unforeseen way, or it can just make everything work not as smoothly as it should.
True.
Yeah. There are some campaign levels where if you give a certain unit too much damage or a building too low health, it does kind of make some levels a little bit harder, as far as I've noticed.
Or it can make levels insanely easy.
Yeah.
True.
Like Stand Fast would be harder at first, but by the end it'd be super easy because everything takes a while, but it's got so much health that it makes up for it.
Right.
Exactly. Which I think makes sense for the level like Stand Fast, because if you...
I think personally it should be the opposite. It starts off easy and then gets harder as it goes on.
Right. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, that would make sense. Although, again, it's that level needs some tuning to it. So
honestly, I think it should be harder, but that's just me.
Yeah, same. I think so too. Because towers just completely mitigate that level. Yeah, that's what I did in my builders only run. I just built towers and walls, and yeah, I just won like first try.
That is always effective. Tower rush in any game is always effective. Although,
yeah, all that I've learned in my builders only run is that towers are just super overpowered. Like you build a tower behind the Imperials, they just are destroyed.
Yeah, besides for like a few things, the towers are broken.
Trolls and catapults always annoying.
Yeah.
But they just have like the longest range, and splash damage, and that's like nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next slide then.
Yep.
I'm going to say that drones are like at least A tier, if not S, because they're
A tier.
I don't like the way they feel as much. Yeah.
They have too low health to actually be S tier, because the trooper has 275, which is a really weird number that they gave him. Because like everybody else has like 250 or
300.
Yeah, 300. Well, he has 275, but yeah.
Which is why I think the trooper is a solid A.
I think he's S. He does the fastest attack speed in the game, and he can
That's true.
Any other unit, and he's cheaper. Like every other melee unit, if just in a 1v1 scenario, and he's cheaper.
Personally, I think the knight's better because he just has such higher defense.
I mean, he has as much health as like a cavalry unit and like mounted unit, and that's like kind of broken. And the fact that he's still not that expensive, I mean, but he does do low damage, but he will tank like an earthquake, and
that's all you really expect out of these guys anyway.
To buildings than
I think
builders
the trooper, I think should be slightly higher.
Yeah,
the trooper should be slightly higher.
Stupid low damage. Like he does such low damage. Again, in the first few levels of the King's Act, you'd rather just use builders to attack the buildings because they do 25 while he does like 10 to 15 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I didn't know that. I always just thought that it was like he was just like a builder in terms of damage. Then again, I didn't like do crazy builder only runs, so
literally in the speed run for one of the levels, I think it's level 2 of King Act. I use builders Costly Distractions, I use builders instead of knights.
Yeah, it's way better just to use builders against buildings than knights or guardsmen.
I think guardsmen and oarsmen only do like 5 damage against buildings. I'm pretty sure they're better against buildings than people.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Speaking of
pretty
oarsmen,
sure.
Is oarsman A or B?
I think B. Skeleton's better.
Skeleton is better, but he has some better health. That's the thing.
Well, what about their price?
Oarsman could go like. Oarsman could go deeper into the base, but the skeleton's better.
Yeah, the oarsman has. Wait, does the skeleton cost more or the oarsman?
Oarsman costs more.
Yeah, the oarsman costs 120 for some reason.
Wow.
I still think the trooper is way better than the guardsman because he's just so much on damage and his health is really good, and yeah, like
trooper's just like all around.
Yeah, I think guardsman though, the fact that he's so much HP means that like he can be used even if you have like multiple horses. Like he at least has a purpose at that point because you can still just send him in first to soak up the damage, and then you can send your actual troops behind him.
True.
Like there's an actual strategy behind using guardsmen rather than a trooper. Like it literally, like you make a couple at the beginning in case enemy attacks you quickly just to defend, and then there's no other reason to use them.
Yeah, late game. Well, late game they still.
Late game you wouldn't use any of them anyway, but like there's more of a reason to use the guardsmen later in the game. There's more of an incentive. Not a lot, but a little bit more. I think that alone puts them slightly above.
But that's why I would say drones are A tier because you can easily rush your opponent at early game, and that's usually my because they're just so cheap and fast and they also got that little heart, so you know.
Drone's just not fast enough.
But yeah.
What about Imperial?
Feels like the worst.
I agree. Personally, I love using him. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the way he attacks or how his character is, but I love using him. But he's not that good.
Yeah, his attack sounds really nice. Yeah,
I love his sprite too.
Yeah, his sprite's nice.
He's actually kind of decent, but he's just outclassed.
There's so many better options, but I personally probably still pick him just because I like him.
Yeah, Dwarf just the same thing, better.
Dwarf's like
he has higher range or like view range.
Yeah, that's the only thing he's good about. Honestly, I think he's also
tier.
Yeah, like the dwarf, like you just rather pick the trooper over the dwarf. Like that's it. The dwarf's only good for view distance. I think he's at the top of. Well, the swordsman is at the bottom of B.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like this?
Like that.
Troll
and
is
troll.
horrible.
I mean, I love the sound that they make. Like they make literally the same sound that like the
power sound.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That. Yeah, I love that so much. That puts an S for me, but like realistically, it's probably like probably a B tier.
He's horrible.
They attack like towers.
Huh?
If they attack like towers,
I don't think he's the worst. I don't think he's the worst. His attack is decent, but he's not bad. He's not that bad at anything either.
That's it.
Yeah,
he's just faster than dwarf and has higher view distance.
And honestly, for these guys, view distance is about like the best like something you're gonna get out of him besides the guardsman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that saves him from being worst.
Those three just never use.
Yeah, but I'm biased. I'll actually use the Imperial Swordsman. But
I mean,
that's just me.
It's ultimately down to preference, and I will admit the swordsman sound really cool. So
like whatever one you just think looks coolest is what you use. So I either use guardsman or swordsman. Exact opposites of the spectrum.
Guardsman in a 1v1 actually, but that's just Actually, I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah, but for these guys specifically, 1v1s do not matter at all because there's no scenario where you're going to be 1v1ing them.
No, if
Yeah.
it was 1v1, the drone would always lose. But again, the drone is
It's horde. These guys are meant to be used as a horde.
exactly.
Yeah, they are.
As advanced like units, you just use to like bait out spells or whatever.
Yeah,
You gotta
cannon fodder.
have a few guardsmen and then put some like ballistas behind them. It'd win if you use like a trooper and ballistas. The
Yeah.
team with the guards would be better.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Next one. Range
Ooh.
units.
Ninja.
That is
Ninja is S
order.
tier, in my opinion. Just
Ninja
I can
Ninja.
agree with that. Let's get this out of the way.
Islander, yeah, S tier.
All right.
I think all three are S tier. Personally, I put Archer above Ninja,
Same.
but like they're all like essentially the same.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
my unpopular opinion.
Yeah, you
Archer
like
is
the
A tier.
Nah.
It's too
Nah.
expensive.
I'll be honest,
It's
I'm
too
really
expensive.
biased. I just like the Rifleman.
I love Rifleman. I think he's top A.
I mean,
I
he has
don't. I think the Rifleman's absolute garbage. He
He's
has
like a
less
two.
Stack up
range.
stats wise,
It's
but
lowest
it's got style.
He's got. I think for the sole purpose of it, like in my opinion, he's a top of A, but realistically, he's just top of B. Like
Yeah.
if they went with the whole musket thing and they really just went for it, I think he could be like top A, like slow attack speed, but he does like 50 damage a shot.
Oh, that would have been amazing. Or if
Oh,
they
that
just
would've
gave
been
him like a bayonet and like said go ham on it, you know, just at melee range he just does more damage. That would have
Yeah.
been cool too.
That'd be really cool. Yeah,
That was
I'm
actually-
pretty sure the crossbow.
Top hat. Isn't that like what we proposed to change about the guardsman or the rifleman?
Yes, that
Yeah,
is.
with a bayonet.
No, the making it slow attack
Mhm.
speed but 50 damage a shot.
Oh, that would
Yeah,
be cool.
that is the exact thing that we did for the balance. Yeah, and it works beautifully. Actually, I've already tested it multiple times. Yeah.
That's awesome. And
So if that was the case, he would be S tier. But for now, as vanilla, he's B.
B, yeah.
I think
All right,
all the 2 damage.
let's get the
heroes
obvious one
are
out of the way. Pirate.
He's better than the
a
gunman.
little bit
He's
better.
better than the rifleman. I mean,
He's got a lot of
he's-
range.
The gunman is just ninja, but worse, pretty much.
Yeah, he's just worse ninja.
So A tier or B tier?
B. I'm gonna say B.
I'd say top B.
Stats aren't great.
Yeah.
And
Crossbowman.
Crossbowman A.
He's
A?
A.
you know,
He's
If
shorter
I-
ranged, but that's about it. It's like,
if I were in charge of
Fine.
like the balancing of the space ones who are I'd say are kind of like the weakest out of the ranged units,
I agree.
I'd
Yeah.
say they should have like a piercing quality, like their shots should pierce, or they should have like some sort of splash damage. That would
I like
would say-
piercing. I like
Yeah.
piercing a lot.
Piercing would absolutely work for those guys because right now all I did is just kind of buff their damage and attack speed, and that's about it.
So where would we put this guy? Commando.
C.
C for commando.
Yeah.
Criminal.
Okay, if he had like an in between as well as space criminal would feel like the in between, but faster.
But as of right now, where will they go?
Policeman C. Is like the same as the.
Yeah, he's just a cheaper commando with less health.
Personally, I think cost is what's important there.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it is.
Yeah.
And then the
Hey, hold up.
criminals.
Hold up.
What?
You're gonna put the space police in front of the commando, but not the islander in front of the archer.
Yeah. Fashion and reform. All right. Criminal.
The policeman also
I'm just supposed to be
has
objective.
less
B.
health.
I think
while the
criminals
ninja has
should be A or B.
less health.
High B or low B?
High
I
B.
think he's more useful than the gunman and the rifleman.
True.
He sucks, but he's unique. That's the reason you'd use him.
Yeah,
He's just kind of funny.
He is. He is. Just one eye. Laser Trooper, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, that's an eye?
That is.
Oh my god, I thought it was a nose.
No, that's an eye.
Oh, damn it! Now I can't unsee it. I liked it better before. I want to go back.
Sorry about that, but
Yeah,
I actually
laser
have like the
troopers are
minifigure
huge.
he's based off of. He's actually like a mixture of like the Skull twins and the guy that has Snake and the Skull twins of Space Police. That's
Yeah.
that's the mixture he's of.
Which
Mhm.
guy? The alien?
Yeah,
Trooper.
space criminal.
As much as I hate to say it, I'd say he's like a D tier or low C. Because
D.
even though he has like a full suit of armor, like he's a drone in a full suit of armor, even though he's actually an Exoforce machine, he just doesn't have the same impact that even the Commando or Space Police has.
He looks cool.
Horrible.
I have one minifigure.
He's
of
fast
that.
too. He's really fast.
He's
Yeah, he's
fast,
just-
and I normally love that, but he just doesn't feel right. If he was a bit faster, maybe he'd be more viable. But right now, I feel like all the laser shooters should have more range or piercing shots.
Yeah,
So,
the
I
laser
was-
trooper is the
range is more
worst,
important than
actually,
speed.
because he has less range than the commando. Like the commando just outclasses him in every way except for speed, and like the space criminal is just objectively better than the laser trooper. 100%.
Yeah, but it also you have to remember it's like it pairs really good with the Grav Runner.
Yeah, but I personally think he's a D tier just because he has less range, he has low damage.
No, yeah, that's I agree with that. Like I've never had a fun time using him. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
entertaining. Well, I shouldn't say fun. I've had like a fun time using him, but I don't have like an easy time using him.
Yeah, I also
Ever.
don't like his attack sound, to be honest. It's just I don't know.
The wow.
No,
That's the grab runner.
sound. Yeah,
I always confuse the two because I mean one's looking off to the side and the other's just looking at you.
yeah,
They were kind of lazy with the icons, but oh well.
Yeah.
I give my final spiel on why I think the Archer is the worst of the top three.
Go ahead.
Cost.
All right. Are you really going to spend the extra 50 bricks for an extra 50 HP?
Absolutely.
You'd
Yeah.
rather
No.
spend it on.
I wouldn't. That's why I'm ninja.
Can you
But
say it again?
Would you spend the 50 extra bricks to get 50 extra HP?
no,
The Archer over
I
the
take-
Islander.
I take ninja or islander, but that is just me.
Yeah,
Me too.
we all have like different opinions on the S tier, guys.
But
They're
we all
all
agree
good,
that they're
but-
all above. We all agree
Yeah,
that they're all
totally.
above the rest.
Oh yeah,
Definitely
easily.
the best three.
But I'm the one with the power here to make the tier list, so I can put it where I want to.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, but really, I would interchange any of these. Like this portion probably matters the least out of any of them.
I'd agree. You just pick at least one, even Islander, whatever you consider to be the worst, they're still going to be leagues above the other ones. So
Yeah, that's agreed.
Yeah.
All right. So we're good with this list.
Yeah.
agreed.
I'm good with it.
Yeah,
All
unfortunately.
right, moving on. Next one. The Cavalry.
Imperial cavalry mounted. Like the
Cavalry and
Imperial
Gripply are
mount
both S.
Yeah, Cavalry
is-
and Gripply are S, pretty much.
Most
yeah,
of them, I'd
cavalry,
say.
S tier. Gripply and or is it Gripely?
Gripply.
I think it's Gripply.
I always pronounced it as like Gripely because I thought it was like griped because of the
Bruh.
cutscene
Ew.
where he got like the card and was like,
I
That-
like that, actually.
that's funny. Yeah, I have that exact Gripply set. The legs don't move, so in the game
No.
it just shows him wobbling back and forth, so it's kind of funny.
It's hilarious that they translated that
Yeah.
into. But yeah, the Alien Infiltrator, I believe, was the set name that it came in. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I love that set. Yeah, it came with the commander. Yeah, beautiful set.
What about Pirate? I think it's A tier. Personally.
I think it's still
It's super
outclassed by
fast.
the-
It's super fast.
And bulky.
It's not as bulky, actually. It only has
Not as
400
much
health.
Cavalry.
Cavalry is
Same
450.
Gripply.
I
Yeah,
know,
but
but he's
also
both.
Ripley
really
Graph
fun.
Runner actually is 350.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Grav
Grav and
Runner
Horseman
is
together.
I
outclassed
think the
by even
Grav Runner
Guardsman.
and Horseman are as good.
Yeah, they're both
They're
interchangeable.
equal.
I think the Horseman can beat the Grav Runner, actually.
It's RNG.
Grab Runner is a 3 damage, Horseman's a 2 damage, but the Horseman does have 500 more health.
Yeah. Yeah,
think
I
Grav
think the
Runner.
2 damage isn't really.
Yeah, Grav is better
The
overall.
2 damage isn't a trooper 2 damage. It's more like his own 2 damage tier. It's like higher than other ground melee units.
Yeah, but we're also comparing all the things together, and a 3, I always feel like he just never did as much damage. Like, I felt like it'd take a while to kill a building compared to Gripply.
That's true. Yeah, compared to Gripply, he's like at the bottom.
I just realized that Gripply is a pun on Ripley and Grip.
Yes, it says that on the Lego wiki as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I was
I did
thinking
not
of, like,
realize.
space.
I spent a lot of time on that Lego wiki trying to do the lore video. Which, okay, cool. Yeah.
I think Knight should be B or either the bottom of A.
I think
Still
both of them are
B.
B. I think both of them are B.
Skell
I
Knight's
think
definitely
Skell
below.
Knight is just
F.
Because I feel like these are the only 2 that need adjustment, you know?
Skeleton
Agreed.
Knight F or C.
Skell Knight
Put him
is
in C.
much
Knight's
worse.
not-
Because the
than
problem is
Gripply.
they both have
Yeah,
300 health.
Yeah, but Knight does the same damage as Gripply. They're both max damage.
Yeah, and
that's true.
Skell Knight, honestly, I put Skell Knight at C.
Yeah.
agreed. If
Skell
I
Knight
was-
is the worst option. It has the least health, it has the lowest movement, and it has the worst damage.
Yeah, there's like no reason to pick them.
Yeah, because they all cost the same. They all cost the same.
Yeah,
So it's literally, that's like just nerfing yourself.
yeah. I think the best way to balance him is to either just buff his damage or give him a lower cost and build time, possibly.
If I were in charge of the balance personally, what I would do with all the skeleton units, I wouldn't increase their health because I like that they are sort of like these lower health, except the builder for some reason, but
Yeah,
maybe.
I can make them like glass cannons, personally.
Yeah, exactly.
same.
Glass cannons that are cheap to put out because they're only bones, but at the same time, what they do put out like heavy amounts of damage. So
Essentially, just the Russia of Lego battles.
exactly, the rush. The Zerg, the Cybran, the whatever.
I said
they're like-
Russia. I was referring to the country.
Like
Oh.
what? There's a Russian
Oh.
Lego.
Just kind of throwing waves of disposable minions at the enemy, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
they're
In my,
the
I
undead.
made my own little version of Lego Battles, and what I've done is made all the wizards just build instantly, and I haven't changed anything. They just all build instantly, and all the other units are like stronger or have their own unique thing about them. But yeah,
Yeah. So are we good with the way the tier list is right now?
Yeah.
I'm kind of. I still think the Grab Runner should be higher. And
I think, personally, the Grav Runner and the Horseman, like, bounce off each other in such a way because either you get a little more health or a little more damage. But, like,
Yeah, same
the
with us, too.
Cavalry and Mountie are just, like, better versions. Honestly, I put the Mountie above the Grappler because it has more health.
I agree with the cavalry. Although, you know what would have been cool is if the Grav Runner could go over water as well, because it makes sense,
Because it's like a hovercraft, yeah.
yeah, it's floating. So
That would make it. That would absolutely make it broken. Like there would be no reason to pick anything else in the game.
Well,
Mhm.
that would make more
for
sense.
for some maps, not all maps, but some maps, because you could have like one transport rather than 2 transports transporting that many, so you could have more special units on the field.
True.
Yeah, I think a good balance for that would just to make them slower if you would go over water.
But that would also take away from the whole theme thing, where it's like the whole theme of Alien is speed.
Yeah, which I like, to be completely fair. Although I always interpreted more as mobility. Like I'm always kind of miffed that there. I know that you did a balance patch for it to give it flying, but the alien attack ship in the set that it came with, funnily enough, it came with the human version of the dropship, is that it was implied that it would fly, but for some reason in game it doesn't even hover over water like the cruiser or the space criminal vehicle.
I gave it the low flight ability, which just is only water and nothing else.
Which makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, are we good with this ranking?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Next are the tier 1 specials.
Ballista and Siege Tower. Ballista outclasses Siege Tower, but they're all comparable.
I think they're both best tier.
has no view distance.
But I think the Ballista is a bit faster. Honestly,
Yeah,
that view distance is. I think view distance is way more important for tier 1s.
Yeah, because since you can just have them like standing outside of your base as like a sort of kind of scout of sorts.
Or mobile towers. Towers.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Let's just put the Barracuda in F tier because it's literally just outclassed. Like,
no, the red one, Clippers.
Yeah, Clipper red one. I realized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think these two are B. Actually, honestly, I put this at C because it's a disjointed hitbox.
Yeah, that thing needs a shorter size in the Crystal Forest level. Like,
it's literally useless.
Yeah,
it is.
I don't
Why
even know
build
why
it?
like
you need to like purposely carve a 2 wide in order to get it through. Same thing. Problem was on a Hotwire. The actual level itself, you need to like if you're speedrunning it, you have to get a 2 wide path. Otherwise, it's completely impossible.
Yeah, which is annoying. But I guess that the idea was that it was supposed to be match the set closer. Even though if you actually look at it from a minifigure scale, none of the vehicles actually match the scale of minifigures.
No, I agree. And like the thing is with that specifically, it would make sense. I think if it were a lot tankier, it would easily negate this problem.
Agreed. Like if it had like 200 more health, I could see it being used in place of the.
I could see it being used S tier, honestly, because they completely make up for the size difference.
Exactly.
Yeah, the thing about the Alien and Claw tank is that they have 2 less range. They have a range of 5, while the Siege Tower and the Ballista have a range of 7.
So you could have like a long range sniper, or you could have like an up close bruiser, and then I take the Alien. I'd say just make it faster.
Yeah,
because it already has the ability to like hover over water,
which is balanced.
It doesn't. Ooh, I think that's might be make it a C tier.
Yeah.
Why is the Barracuda F tier when the
outclassed? Like, why
like
would
it's literally just a worse version.
It's slower.
Alien attack ship's just a worse version of Siege Tower.
Yeah.
No, but like Siege Tower and okay, so the 2 in S tier have trade-offs. So one has a little bit longer view distance, but one's faster. So they're both equally viable. For the C tiers, they both kind of suck, but they're not that bad because they still have some use. And for F tier, the reason why I put it there is because like these two are the exact same design, everything, but this one just has worse stats for no reason.
I don't know.
And there's no trade-off. It's not like it's slightly faster, but has less damage. Like there literally is no trade-off.
Isn't that the case for an attack ship
Clipper?
too?
They get a bit more use, but yeah, the attack ship and claw tank are also outclassed completely.
Yeah, there's no reason to use any of the 3 at the bottom. There's some reason to use the top 3. The bottom 3, there's no reason. But the reason I didn't put them in F is because like they're not
as bad.
They're not as bad. They're bad, which is why they're like this. But like
max damage.
There's a reason to pick these 2. There's no reason ever to pick this.
Yeah.
Rare circumstance there would be a reason to pick this. This is the only reason you pick this is because you like the color red. But that can be changed by yourself. So these 2 are literally Not even interchangeable. Like, this one's just a better version of this one. Every scenario.
Well, unless you're not on a map without like water. In that case,
Then there's
literally
reason to pick either of them.
exactly.
Why
Yeah,
are those
but
C tier, not B tier?
And this is on like Exile or something. Or
Because it's one thing if like this one was faster and this one had a bit more damage, but there's never a reason ever to pick this one.
it's
Ever.
flat out worthless. Like it's outclassed in every single possible way. It is outclassed by the Clipper.
Why is the Claw Tank and the Alien C tier, not B tier?
They're lower range and don't have that much more HP, so there's no really reason ever. And these two have like weird hitboxes, and you think this one should be able to hover, but it can't. So it's kind of pointless to have it. We good with this?
Just lower them to D. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't
Probably,
matter what
but-
tier they're in.
But that disjoint hitbox is such a pain and a hassle. If it
I think the
first-
alien attack should be B, while the claw tank is C.
Yeah, I agree, but they have like basically the same issues, but like one's just slightly worse because of its hitbox.
Yeah, I think the hitbox alone should make it a tier lower. to be
Yeah, you
honest.
know what? Yeah, I'll put it like this: if this could hover, this would be easily an A tier pick. If it was hover and it was faster, this would be like A tier, S tier. If this was like a way more health, it would also be like a B tier pick.
Mhm.
If I may interject again, but one of my things is that if I were balancing it, if there is a map of water, you should seriously be able to consider to pick, like you should be able to consider building a shipyard, because another sort of slight advantage that if it could hover, is that another slight advantage is that you only need one factory to build the you get all your special units in one factory. That's another reason why I would put the transport ships, the hovering ones that you can build in your jetty or special.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I see that. My big thing though is like, yeah, I guess that'll be fair.
Still not very good, even if it could hover.
Yeah, but like it would give it a niche,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't need to build a shipyard for something that hovers over water.
I mean, the
Yeah, like, there-
Clipper's way faster, has more HP.
Yeah, but I was saying you could like this because, what's a good example from sci-fi? There's, I got nothing actually. Star Wars. There's a specific type of tank that has like a spinning thing on the whole thing, a tread thing. And it goes from like water to land. I'd say this is like the same thing as that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, like a
Hover
beach
tank?
assault type thing.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
you can use 4 of these instead of like a transport. But there's no reason ever to build these because there's 2 tier 2 specials anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Because like this only has a certain amount of range. This would have unlimited range, but it's just not good comparison to this. But since this can reach the back of the enemy base while this can't, it would give this like a niche. So it would literally just be like, do you want to like have close range support, or do you want to have like in-depth support?
agreed.
But I mean, I'm willing to change any of this. If anyone wants to change this,
I think it's good.
I'm good.
you with that? All right. Next one. Tier 2 specials.
Catapult and troll, and especially catapult. Just you get that. It's annoying. It's going to annoy.
2 catapults can literally sweep an entire base with AI.
Exactly.
No contest. Like, unironically, sweep the whole thing without a single worry.
And I think Troll Giant is a bit faster, but I don't
Shoots
fully
slower.
remember the stats. It's slower.
It's faster,
slower.
but it shoots
It's
slower.
slower, or it's faster, but
It
he
moves
attacks
faster.
much slower.
I think they're both so broken with their distance and splash. I think it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it's like Agent Chase and the criminal leader, pretty much.
Yeah, Agent Chase and Pliskin. It's literally like the same. I mean,
Catapult's a bit better though.
They can snipe. They are literally like the snipers of the
I mean,
game.
they're artillery.
Yeah.
Yeah, artillery, mortar.
Yeah.
And the catapult actually kind of benefits from being slower because it will take less damage most of the time too.
True. Because it's not like running into combat.
Yeah.
Time to stop and actually, like, without getting overextended. I agree with that. All right, since we have the two obvious ones out of the way, what about the two different ships?
Oh.
I like the battleships. The both of them are called Battleship for some reason, but I like both of
Brickbeard's
them.
better. Brickbeard is just better.
The Pirates one is objectively better than the Imperials. He's just faster.
It just makes up
faster?
for.
I think both of them, honestly, are B tier because there's literally never a reason to ever pick them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless the map's like completely water.
Yeah, but
even
like,
then, you
but
have
then
flying.
there's. I'd see Space Criminal Hot Rod's better than them, honestly, on water maps.
Yeah,
What does
Space
more
Criminal
damage?
and
I think
Cruiser.
battleships are kind of better, but it's only in like the right situation.
Yeah, because
unless you're
situational.
constrained to only ships, like in a pirate campaign, then there's really no point to choose it over a spaceship.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, okay. Personally, if I were to again balance, I know I keep talking about balancing, but that's mostly because I mean, just to make sure, like, I'm not the only one who thinks this, but I wish the battleships had more range. I wish they were more viable, and just because if you build inland, I mean, they can attack you, but if you just build inland far enough, those things are literally worthless.
Yeah, like
several maps like Outbreak, you can just boats don't even work on that map just because you're so far inland.
yeah, they become pointless. Like, you can control the outer edges of the map, but there's no reason to ever go to those edges.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing they'd ever be useful for is like controlling a choke point. But that can be negated with transports.
What was it? There's like the Bayou, I think.
The Bayou
battleships
is
are really good. Like if you turn off random starts and you build a battleship off to the right, you can actually float it over to your enemy's base and just take them out from there.
It's hilarious to do that.
It would be good on a map like Exile. Exile would be really good with that.
Yeah.
Enclave would be okay for controlling those, controlling the chokes. Same thing with the Black Seas. Omega Quadrant would be good. King's Landing would be good. But, like, that's about it.
Very map dependent.
Yeah,
Dead End,
Even
maybe.
more than the Clipper.
And Le Poisine. But, like, most of these maps, you can just build transport and go around them.
Yeah.
You can, but at the same time, usually somebody might be.
Even if they're microing, though, you can just drop in, like, the middle of their base, and you might take more damage, but you can completely, like, avoid them, because people tend to put their, like, towers near the outside of their base. So if you fly to the center, then they can't, like, become inland and help them. Like, they're completely screwed.
Oh, I'm actually one of those people who builds like towers more close to my base, like near like my main building, which is like the
Castle?
Yeah, the castle. I mean,
I do a mix personally with like because I like having everything within the towers.
I use them on that perimeter.
Yeah, like
and the thing about the battleships. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. I mean, all right. Let's just move on. I mean, they're B tier. They're kind of garbage. Not really useful. All right. Let's do then. Since we already did the pirate and thing, let's do the last two space ones before we get into the specials. Where are we putting space ones?
They
B
have
tier.
piercing damage.
That's true. They do.
Damage.
Don't do splash though.
They attack so slow. Like I'm.
They move slow and they attack slow. I think that's a big problem.
Yeah.
I think
Starfighter than the strike ship though.
Personally,
I don't think you would pick that over a battleship, to be honest.
I mean, the only thing I think hovering is a bit more useful.
If you want a slow unit.
Yeah, they're so slow.
The only good thing about it is that it can fly over trees, and the hot rod and the cruiser can't.
What would have been cool is if the cruiser, not the cruiser, but the strike fighter, the Earth one, if that one could actually like transform into its ground mode and then it can just cruise across the land faster, and you get like sort of like 2 units, and then you hit like a water transform, it goes slower, but it can go over water. Like that would have been cool.
Yeah, but that would have been taking a lot of coding.
Yeah. I don't think it makes sense either. Like, how is it going to go faster on ground than flying?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd have it like coded as like an invisible transport that if you drop it near land, if you make it go into land form, it'll unload that dropship, quote unquote, that invisible dropship, and then it would just be a land vehicle. And then when you press on the button again, it's like it's picked up by another dropship that becomes visible, and then it just like becomes the other unit. That's how I would code it.
Yeah.
I think-
also the alien one should be C tier, like straight up. It attacks so much slower too.
Yeah.
Attack, and then the aliens is just so much slower.
No, yeah, I agree with that. I hate using the alien one. I never used it. I don't think I've ever used it before.
Uh-huh.
Even in like campaigns and stuff, like there's never a reason ever to pick it. Ever. Genuinely, transports, I'd feel like I'd get more value.
Is it that
Agreed.
bad?
It's just
Yeah,
not.
really bad.
There's just no reason ever to pick it. Like literally none. Like battleships have a very small niche. This has none.
So how about we just throw them down to C and D tier? The Strike Fighter goes into D, and then the Starfire, goes into C.
I can agree because
Is
there's no.
Starfire lower than battleships?
It's slower
Oh,
by
really?
a lot.
Wow,
a lot.
that's
Like,
crazy.
there's no retreating with it. Like you either commit to the assault or you don't.
Huh.
Exactly.
The battleships at least have high health, splash damage, good speed, good attack speed.
They're just nerfed because they're in water.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know it was that bad.
It's like if you do not commit and you like try to retreat, like they can easily hunt you down. Like there's no real escaping with it because nearly everything in the game outruns you. And since you're focused on leaving, like you can't attack. So you either commit to the attack or you don't bother attacking at all. And keep it
crazy.
good on defense though. It's surprisingly decent on defense, which is why it saves it from C tier.
Yeah, it is. Although, if I may also interject again, I'd also put the blimp, ninja glider, and then the dwarf glider, the ninja flying machine, blimp, and dwarf glider also in C and D tier because they're pretty much like the fantasy. I mean, not fan. They're the medieval low tech equivalents. So, yeah.
I agree. I never feel a reason ever to pick any of these.
Yeah, we're basically a strike ship, but the
Isn't
strike
strike
ship's
ship
actually
better?
better than them. The strike ship is better.
I feel like
The
if
alien-
they had like a unique ability, like on death, all the three drop like their respective like special units or whatever. I think that would actually make them pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That
as they
would
are.
be.
That would
That
be
would
cool.
be.
Would they count towards the unit cap? How would that work?
It's just like they like auto attack. Like they're like if you're blue, they'll spawn in as like a green unit like in the campaign,
Oh, okay.
and then they'll just go after the nearest enemy.
Cool.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
That would put them into S tier in my opinion, but
I think it would still leave them in A because you can't control the unit, and that would be
in that case,
where it keeps them
A.
balanced.
Yeah, you might actually like lock yourself in a wall if you like constantly do it at like what was the one where you spawn at like 3 different spots on Mars, like the second free play level?
Entrenched.
Yeah, entrenched. Yeah, if you like keep spawning them at the edges of entrenched, you could just lock yourself in. Which I don't know. There might be a way to like move them or something. I don't know. Anyway,
I'd put the cruisers and golem at A tier. I mean, they're solid. There's nothing wrong with picking them. It's just,
I think the golem should be B, to be honest.
I think it should be below battleship. Yeah, the golem.
Yeah,
Really?
and
Well, there's just no point
The
for it. Like
flyer-
at least the battleship is like actually a good unit.
yeah, the blimp, the flyer, and the glider also are below the alien strike ship. They're just worse.
I don't
Because the
think,
strike ship has more view distance, I'm pretty sure.
but it has slower attack speed.
Strike ship is just faster.
No, they have the same
Yeah.
attack speed. They have the same attack.
No, they're equally slow. I don't think they're any faster.
So
Imagine if the CU totem, like, oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Now you're good.
Ninja Flying Ship 2 has the higher AI priority too, which makes it worse than the
Yeah,
Dwarf and
I can
Troll.
drop Ninja Flying Ship, and we'll just leave the other two. Is that good?
Yeah. Hold on. Oops.
Is
Let me get a
the strike
screenshot
ship
of
faster?
Strike ship's a little faster.
Yeah, but at that point, it's still so slow, and attack speed is abysmal.
None
Yeah,
of
but don't they all have the
units,
same attack speed?
none of these units are particularly fast.
Yeah. But
Troll is pretty fast.
I think
Yeah,
Troll's the same as the strike ship.
Which
the
one?
Troll Giant, I think, is the same speed as the strike ship.
Oh yeah. That's pretty
I
sure.
think the pirate battleship's the fastest.
I think it is. I can agree with that.
I think it's funny, like that. I like that idea, like where it just spawns those respective units. I think it would be funny if like that Tiki Golem just like lobbed, if it literally lobbed like islanders
And put them
at the
into
enemy.
battle. That would be
Oh,
interesting, actually. Or
Yeah.
like it's like a random thing. Like it has like a 50% chance to throw a rock, and it does its normal damage. It has like a 10% chance to throw a unit, and has like a 40% chance to throw like a special rock, where it does a little bit more damage.
That would be hilarious.
That'd be cool.
And make it like the first ever like RNG unit.
Again, the blimp and the glider and the flying ship are all the same. They're worse than the alien strike ship.
Yeah, strike is better. It should be below Starfighter.
I see the screenshot of their stats, and it's just the strike ship is just better.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
It's like just barely because of view distance, but that's about it.
It's like this.
That looks good to me.
Yeah.
Because Ninja, some reason, has priority. I don't know why.
No, all three of them do.
Oh, they have higher priorities?
The blimp and the glider, yeah, they all have the same priority.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. At that point, it's literally like, which one do you hate the? What one do you hate the least? Do you put it in a higher spot?
Yeah.
If I were to pick, I like the. I like the fact that the dwarf glider, we haven't seen that in a Lego set, and the troll blimp as well. Like the troll blimp and the dwarf glider, we have not seen in actual Lego sets. The ninja flying machine and the strike fighter. The strike fighter, we see it in the Mars mission Ultra Driller set, and the ninja flying one was an alternative build for, I believe, the Shanghai Surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the strike cruiser and the police cruiser, or the hot rod and police cruiser, we both agree right here, right? Or we all agree?
I
Yeah,
think
very
the police cruiser in game looks cooler than the hot rod, but
I can
in
agree.
real life, the hot rod looks cooler. Like,
Hot
because the
rod-
hot rod just kind of looks like it's like its wings are like kind of wobbly. I don't know. It just looks really wacky.
It looks like it's trying to. It's like one of those like old bikes with like the paper or cardboard wings on it. You're like trying to fly in like some really old like 40s era like silent picture.
That's hilarious. The fact
Or like
that,
some Wizard of Oz shit.
The Space Criminals, they made things out of what they could. Okay, they did their best.
They made their shit on like 20s era like comedy logic.
Yeah, I actually had those two sets, and the thing is, I didn't get the stickers for them, so I just had those two, but no stickers, which really sucks.
That's a L.
That's not an L for me. I hate stickers, so I don't put them on.
I do too. I usually take them off.
Really?
I keep a few of them on. Like, I also recently bought like a World Racer set that I've been wanting to get, and it didn't come with stickers as well.
Yeah.
There's a point where I got it for like $50 less than normal.
Nice. Which one is it?
It's the big rig. It's the one that comes with 2 cars. The big rig.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that one's really good. Because me and my brother used to share Legos, and he took that one, and I took the Power Miners ones, pretty much.
Yo, what's up?
Hey.
Oh, hey.
What are you guys doing? Damn.
Yeah, we're on our 9th tier list at this point.
Yeah, we're ranking all
What
the
is this?
different
What is
units.
the server?
Huh?
Oh, what is the server?
It's
Oh,
not
are
Lego
you new?
Marbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just joined.
Oh shit. What's up?
Pops out.
Yeah, we're literally talking about Legos.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Dude, dude, this game is fucking awesome, dude. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Wait, did you guys figure out how to get what's it called? Local multiplayer to work on emulators?
Yeah,
Not
that's
yet.
like everybody else.
Wish
don't think
we had online multiplayer for
So-
Lego
Working
Battle.
on that.
How it works
We
is-
have gotten local.
Yeah, how it works is you can like load up 2 different games on your actual PC, and they'll connect to each other, but you can't connect to other PCs
Oh, that's tough.
for now. I mean, I think Melon DS is working on like multi PC like configurability.
Oh.
Seriously.
I'm actually working on it right now. I'm trying to get VM set up that you can remote desktop into.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm still
Hey.
struggling to find a remote desktop client I like, but I have gotten, and I'm also trying to find a Linux distro that's light enough. But I have gotten, I had 2 Pop! OS VMs that I was able to get going. I don't know that it lasted very long. I didn't spend a whole lot of time playtesting, but I got them to connect and got a multiplayer match at least started.
Really?
So I'm still working on the practical aspects of it. I also haven't had like a whole lot of time or energy. So I have a 3-day weekend mostly, so I'm working on that right now. Actually,
Is there a lot of input delay?
I don't know. I haven't tested it. They were just 2 VMs on my laptop. I haven't had anybody try to remote in yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. I mean, get a tournament going if that works out well.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
All right, back to the tier list, boys. Everyone agree with this ranking?
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm.
All right, and then I'll go on to the next one. Special 3s. I think we should start off with the obvious.
Alien Assault Ship, just the GOAT.
Yeah, there's not even a contest there.
Yeah, I think this is the immediate start. The only real discussion is what she should do with the Imperials, because like
Battleship is better.
this is just
Say
slightly
B tier.
worse. I'd say B
tier
tier
only
as
because
well.
of water.
Yeah, like
Yeah, the
that's it.
Imperials is slightly better. Like the Imperials is just a little bit slower, but it has a faster attack speed, and that attack speed is really scary. Like, I know when I was
Scary
going
enough
up against a
Scary enough-
couple. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I
Yeah, because against transports against that versus transports against the Brickbeards, transports are better against Brickbeards than against the Imperials. Like, it demolished them. So
But is it good enough to put it in A tier?
No.
Not over the
No.
assault ship, no.
No.
No, the Starship is just too good. I mean, again, it's got that piercing damage. I mean, don't get me wrong. The flagship and the bounty both have amazing splash damage and attack speed. I mean, they're scary on a water map, but
that's it.
yeah, that's it. If it's not a
Definitely better
water
than
map,
Dragons.
oh, dragons. See, dragons are just underwhelming because
I hate dragons. I hate them so much.
Yeah.
I'm not moving them out of F tier. I don't know no matter what any of you say. I'm not moving them out. I hate them. Like I can't
I
use them.
agree. I agree.
I can't
I
use them.
agree.
Bad?
Like I legit cannot use them. Like I try using them and they just melt instantly. They do 0 damage. They melt the second you put them in. Their range is abysmal.
I
Literally,
mean, I like their melee range almost melee range.
they have like one more tile more than melee.
They have 2 tiles more.
Do they do much damage?
No,
They do
Oh, really?
decent damage,
They do.
but
They do
Too
some
small.
blast, which is nice.
here's
That's
the
it.
thing. 2 dragons can take on 4 assault ships. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. That's if they are isolated in a perfect scenario, but there's never a perfect scenario for that.
and you can just
Dragons.
spread them out, and you can only attack 2 at one time.
Yeah.
I just wish dragons were just better. Flat out. I wish they had more damage at least. Okay, fine, maybe that they have their short range and they melt, but maybe they just do a bunch of damage and maybe their damage lingers like earthquake or
It's like it like lights the ground on fire. And if like nearby units walk over it, it'll burn them. And it lasts for like 5 seconds. But actually, my 2 cents was they can have a special unique ability only to them called Soar. And what happens is they're able to fly over mountains.
They can fly over mountains and walls too.
Yeah, like
As
there's
well-
no limits to like where they can fly.
That would be cool, although very niche nonetheless.
But that would give them a niche. Like they'll give them an
True.
actual purpose.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's never a reason to pick them ever, even over battleships on land maps. Like genuinely, they're a
know.
waste of a slot.
Yeah. I don't
Like,
even know if you can actually make them fly over mountains in vanilla. There isn't really any code for that.
You can just make it so that they don't have collision with mountains.
That would work. That would work.
Like just turn off mountain collision, and then you just fly over them.
I have a hot
Yeah.
take.
Go ahead.
I think Starship is equal to Alien Assault Ship because even though they have the bigger hitbox, it means they take less damage from splash.
True, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
It's harder to heal them, and it's a lot more annoying to use, but they could be good and competitive.
That's true.
I mean,
That is.
Don't
that
suffer
might
the
be a good
same-
way
They're
to-
equal. I think they're worst overall, but they're equal.
Yeah, put them in S then.
All right. Then I think we should. Then personally, I think we should bump up the pirate ships
not terrible.
because they're good. Again, it's like I think they outweigh the battleships more so than the like they outweigh the battleships in terms of like actual usability because of their decent range and their splash damage and just their tankiness in general. Like genuinely, the maps that they're good on, they're really good on.
Yeah.
True.
So I think
Agreed.
bumping them up to A tier is a reasonable thing to do.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think the battleship is like just slightly worse than them.
Yeah.
The flagship is actually decent, but I think the battleships are just basically the Brickbeard's bounty.
Yeah,
Hmm.
pretty much.
Yeah.
The thing is though, like there's a purpose to picking the flagships. There's literally no purpose to picking a battleship.
Yeah,
like, there's
battleships
just-
are just really fast.
Like just pick a hot rod. Like that's a better version.
Yeah.
If we want like something to go over water.
Out of context, that sounds kind of funny. Like, just pick a hot rod over a battleship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I have a maps tier list, but I don't know if I think I can quickly upload one, maybe.
I think it's just a popularity contest, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a
I mean,
popularity.
if we're gonna do that, I think we should like do it tournament style and like have people vote on them.
Yeah, that would be cool.
yeah.
So like you post like 4, you pick between them, and then he goes like to another 4, and you pick between them, and then he goes to like another group stage, and the winners, all of those, they pick the best map, and then depending on everyone's like votes, there's like a loser bracket that determines like the low tiers, which is the best out of the low tiers.
Agreed.
We can do it by era, or like by like game mode. Not game mode, like the theme.
We could do that too. Like best space, best Earth, and then which theme people like more. Like, I think that would also be another good poll.
Oh yeah, weren't we going to do like a tier list of like factions, like purist factions, like alien only, Earth only, Imperial only?
I mean, we can just
That's
do
kind of
that.
subjective, though. I think that'd be another thing that'd get voted on more.
Yeah, I think that's better for a vote.
That's less than
Oh.
an apples to apples comparison. I don't know.
What about
Alright,
like
well-
a building
well-
look tier list?
Before we discuss future tier lists, we still have one more left to do.
Well, this one's obvious. The Earth transport is just S tier. Alien transport is a little bit slower, but
But I
I
still
mean,
put it S.
yeah. And the other ones are just trash.
The King's A
Kings is A,
on
and then
bridge
Wizards
maps.
is B. Wizards is B, and then Governors is C, and then Pirates is F.
I think both pirate ones are pretty bad, but yeah, there's
I
Is there
can,
any
I
difference
can
between
get behind that.
Okay, yeah. Put Governors in D, actually, because it's just
If we go by
Because again, at the end of the day, they're all transports. Like they all serve the same function. Realistically, A through D, okay, like they could all be an A because you literally drop troops off and then you leave. Like you don't do anything else with them.
Is
I
that
think
much of
it's-
a difference between them? Because that seems kind of crazy to have them so spread out.
I think it's hilarious that Wizards is the only one of the boat ships that isn't a reskin of the other. I mean, the King's one is literally the other two without stripes.
Literally is same as the Imperial, but it's just no white.
Exactly.
What
I
makes the
think
King better than the rest?
Actually, no. Look at their sprite. There's actually a bit of silver on the wood frame.
Oh, you're right.
There actually is a difference.
There is, but it's very.
It's just that it's minuscule.
It's not
Their
as much
model difference
of.
is the only difference. Yeah.
It's I mean, I think it's just hilarious that the Wizards literally gets like the odd one out, and yet it's like literally no different.
Yeah, like they're basically like again, like realistically, this tier list, it's like, can it fly or can it not? Like that's the difference.
Yeah, pretty
If
much.
it flies,
Why are they also spread out? Like, what's the difference between all the ships?
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kings
why is King is the best?
damage.
But
Honestly, actually, if you look at all of them, they actually all do look different. Like they have like slight differences, but like they are different. Like they're not full reskins. Like even Imperial and Pirate, like Imperial has a lot more like white to it, and, like different sections that are white rather than the brown or gray of the pirate ship.
Yeah, you could probably just put them all in like C or D.
if you do look at the if you look at like the unit portrait, like not the icon, but the portrait.
Yeah, like they're actually all different and have even like different designs, but like in game, it's
they're all different. But
realistically, if you're going to be realistic with all this is how the ranking actually goes. With like this slightly better and everything else is just trash. Like there's no reason to ever use any of these.
I think the Wizard might be better just because the Pirates and Governors has less health and they're slower. They have less health and they're slower.
Honestly, for transports, the best stat possible is speed.
Yeah,
and King has the best speed
and health. I think.
I don't think it's fair to put them all to D or F. I don't know.
Yeah, like this is probably the
that's a bit extreme.
I mean, this here is like the most obvious. Just pick Earth, and
like pick Earth, or if you like the look, pick Alien.
Yeah, and then like pick Kings if you're doing on like certain maps with bridges.
Like they're like Alien is just slower. Like that's it. Like King and Alien, King and the reason why I'm put King in D and not F is because King and Earth both have like 4 speed. They're both 4 speeds.
Yeah, and King does more damage too.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, but it's something to note. It's stat.
I mean, they're both 1-star damage dealers.
No, but they shoot the arrow instead of it's like an archer shot instead of a space criminal shot.
You're right.
It doesn't really matter though.
They're both garbage.
Don't do much damage.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious if the transport ships actually did more damage, like they're actually viable units besides just transports.
Well, that's what we're trying to do with the patch. Look at the patch. Like we actually make the transports decent.
I didn't realize that the Pirates. Go ahead. All right, yeah, but the Pirates transport in the balance patch actually beats a Clipper in a 1v1.
Wait, what?
I just gave him the cannonball projectile, and that already made him really good.
Wow.
Yeah, they have a bunch more health, right, than the Clipper.
Yeah, they have more health than the Clipper, and that's probably why it won.
That's how I broke them. It shouldn't be that good.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with balance patches, my main gripe was making the top 2 either really slow but a lot of armor, so it's like a frontline like tank type thing for Earth, and then for Alien it was like super fast but like 0 attack and 0 like armor. So like they actually had like reasons to stick around in the battlefield rather than just drop them off, and then if like you're immediately under attack, you fight with it and then you run away. Like
they actually make sense to have different types that way. Like to have some that are tanks and like landing ships, and some that are just glass cannons that drop and run.
And then like I had like them other 4 be like less extreme versions of these 2. Because when I said like they had like a ton of armor but no speed or damage, I meant like it moves at a snail's pace and it does like 1 damage. But like it can take a hit, like a lot of damage.
Huh.
And then I specifically made it so that the King had a little bit more health, but then lower the other 2. The pirate was a bit faster, but lower damage and health. And then the wizard did more damage, but was lower health and shield. And then the all-rounder would have been the Imperial.
I can agree with that.
Okay, maybe move King up from D.
Oh, from the tier list?
Yeah. I think or not King, the transport ship. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I'll put it at C. That's fair.
Maybe C or B.
Really? I don't think so. Because they're the exact same stats as the other two, right?
No, wizard is just. Yeah, it's
Oh,
the same
no,
as
yeah, I
see
see what you're saying. Yeah. Never pick these. Barely pick this. You maybe pick this once or twice. Pick this.
Yeah.
Occasionally that. That's how it works.
I mean, unless you're going for like a themed game, like Pirates versus Knights or whatever, or something that's water heavy and like eliminates space. There's really no reason.
Yeah, there's no reason to pick any of these four ever. Really, just pick these two. All right. Well, I mean, if we don't have besides that, if we don't have any other ideas, that's all the tier lists.
Cool. Wow, that was actually. See, that's actually quite a lot because I mean, especially for a handheld RTS, that's actually a good amount of units
that are actually viable. Surprisingly balanced game. Like if you're really looking at it, like Cavalry, only 2 aren't that viable. Like, okay, archers are a bad example, but like there's 4 that you could relatively use. Like even like regular infantry, like you can use technically any of these. And then builders, there's only one that's actually just like straight up like why would you pick it? And then for like, these actually like there's several good ones, like over half the roster is actually usable. Same with these, like over half. These 2 are just like enigmas that are complete garbage. And like even with spells, like there's only like 4 spells that are like completely useless or barely usable. And for heroes, I'm surprised how many are actually viable in this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well. But I mean, if you do look at the stats and the spells, they actually are pretty viable. A good chunk of them.
Yeah, there's 15 heroes that you could pick between that are actually like good to use, and most of them are the fun ones. Yeah. I mean, there's 3 that you should never pick. Technically, 6, and then 4 like that are like if you like really like that character, you might be able to pick them. But like the majority of them are pretty decent, surprisingly.